black men, we keep seeing this play out over and over. And I don't think black men really understand the power differential between they black male selves and that white woman, and how when the shit hit the fan, right, they gonna be at a disadvantage. Sharon Samuels Reloaded, $5. So when men say women are delusional, we see actually they are not, because just being around a man is enough for him to risk it all. Damn.
That's a bar. That's a bar, because they absolutely are willing to risk it all. Like we heard the story last night. What got that black man 9 years in federal prison? You know what I'm saying? And then what almost made him had to have a decision to delete his girlfriend and his best friend? A white woman. That's crazy when you really think about like all these BS talking points that we keep hearing every day. Savage talking crazy about our black women, but behind every scandal of a black man being brought down is a white woman. It's that miracle whip. It's that miracle whip.
So hold on. So Savage, let me ask you a question. So do you have high standards for that man that got in that situation? Huh?
You said no?
No.
No.
You said, do I have high standards for him?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
High standards. So like when you in that position, right? Like if I was in that position, I would have high standards for myself to make sure I don't slip up.
Right. So I think he should have high standards for himself. I don't know the guy, but he should have high standards for himself. Yes, because he's in that position. Every man that has something to lose should have high standards for themselves. And that's really the reason why men always fail, because they don't see their worth.
Okay.
Pray God you will.
That was right on me too.
We can do a duet. Let's get it.
Oh shit, that was funny. Oh man. And so, but with that being said, I think the men need to understand that they responsibility, especially when they are in that position, that is more on them. It's not an equal thing where we can say we also gotta say that she ain't supposed to date or be with sex with a married man. It's definitely more responsibility on Sharon. And welcome to the show, the number one disruptor, E.
Yay! What's up? How y'all doing today? Woo!
Good.
Trying to see who we gonna piss off today, but I'm trying to bring all the estrogen energy out of every man who's pretending to be men on these panels today.
Hey, either man, what's your thoughts on this? They need to take this lust out of their hierarchy with this young man, 39 years old, coach of the Michigan Wolverines, lost his $6 million a year job, lost most likely his wife, his 3 daughters. They probably not going to look at him the same. Didn't wind up losing his freedom and his girlfriend, his side piece as well, because he went there, threatened his own life and her life. And so now he's locked up. What is your thoughts on these men that do not want to recalibrate their value system?
I think it's just time and time after again we see that this lust is destruction of men. We done seen kingdoms fall because of the lust desire. So I just think that we just need to really look at this like, is it that good? And what the coochie must have been good, man. He must have been pussy whipped. Let's just call it what it is, right? It must have been so good. She must have that good twat between them legs. But neither here or there. I think now it's almost like you let the lust steal from you. It's almost like lust is a thief at this point. And so many people don't understand is inviting lust into their life, into their marriage. It will steal them from all the things that they are that they have achieved over this time. It's really disappointing. The reason it's so disappointing to me is because it'd be different if this was a single man moving off lust and desire, right? We still don't give it an excuse, but we still understand that he's out there in the world. But when you not only a married man, but you got little daughters, like I hold men with daughters to a higher standard because I asked them this question: if your daughter was to find somebody to run into you in the world and married you, would you be happy? And I think it's a disappointment that most men say no. I don't want my daughter to be with nobody like me. So it's just disappointing that he felt to that lust desire. And I know people say, "Well, he's human. It happens." Well, at what point do we start saying we're gonna hold that person accountable and say, "Man, you should be better than that"?
I agree. And I think for far too long, we've been giving men excuses to not hold them accountable because we keep looking at the counterpart and say, well, she also said it was okay. She knew what she was doing with a married. Like, nah, take her out of it. She had nothing to do with this at all. Adam bit the fruit when he was told not to bite it.
Absolutely. And then, and the biggest thing is, I do, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Sharon. I give men in their younger 20s grace. Because I understand that they're still trying to figure some stuff out. And I'm not saying this is an excuse, but when you hit 30, 35, 39, some of these rim bros, 52, still talking the way that they talking. Like, at what point do the grace run out? Like, you supposed to know better. You done been on this earth too long to be still moving like this. You shouldn't be talking about you going to your girlfriend's house at 65.
That's
what are we talking about?
All that you are 39 and you got to give your secretary, your assistant, a plan B from DoorDash. You got caught from DoorDash, my bro. That's a new one.
Yeah, so it's just crazy. Like, I think what I really come down to is that we got to get to a point where, at what point are we going to start asking men to grow up?
It seems like, go ahead, Kills. Hey, shout out to Kills. He said, salute to the platform. Thank you so much, brother.
Eden man, can I ask you a question, kind sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We all seen ESPN, like the other gentleman that was up here earlier. I don't know if you seen it when he was talking about like NFL players go broke and stuff of that nature, and Beckham was talking about it, how he was talking about how I think he said 1.5 million or something ain't no money far as taxes and other things.
He said 100 million. It's no money.
Yeah, my bad. He said 100 million. That's crazy to me. I'm in the hood or whatever the case may be. My thing is, right, Eden man, do you think like people of that stature should have like financial coaches, far as money?
They do.
They do. Yeah. See, the problem is
money. But hold on though. But what about the second part of dating though? Of dating, like what not to do, like coaches though, because we got coaches on the internet. Shouldn't there be some coaches, some life coaches on telling them like a Sharon could be like a life coach on like how to date?
I got you. So to answer your question, lust is expensive. That's why they say $100 million ain't no money. Because lust, listen, this is what I keep trying to tell these niggas that don't want wives. Lust costs you more than love. Lust will cost you, I'm telling you, this is a bar. Lust will cost you more than the love will cost you. So people like, oh, my wife take half. Well, lust will take it all. We seeing this is a good example of lust taking it all. Not only did it take his money, it took his wife, it took his relationships. It might even took his freedom.
Right.
So you gotta understand this. If you think that these guys don't have men in their life saying, "Hey, bro, you need to stop this." Especially when you're talking about coaches, people that done been in these situations. Listen to the people who came before them. It's a reason LeBron James' mentor encouraged him to get married at a young age. It's like if you really start listening, LeBron ain't the only one somebody talking to. It's just one of them say, "I want my lust desire more than any mentor can tell me." And sometimes that's why we got to hold them accountable, because it's not like they're ignorant. That's why I said earlier, kills. I give the 20-year-old, because most of these 20-year-olds might just not have the father in their life. They might not have it, but they done been on this earth long enough that somebody say, hey, check this out, bro. That's not the right way to move. And they still choose to move that way at 30, 52.
So
That's
now
it.
my question is to Savage, right? So we got two chats, right? This one says to the chat, how do you hold women accountable? Savage, also we got women and accountability is like oil and water. When we're talking about men holding themselves down and making sure they don't put themselves in some strange position, why do they want to talk about women and accountability? What is the obsession with it?
You talking to me?
Mm-hmm.
The obsession is the YouTube talking point that gets you views and shit. Or what it is if we have the information, if you don't think that women hold themselves accountability to them, and men should automatically hold themselves accountability, why are we worried about the women and their accountability? If we stay on 10, it is what it is. The ones who want to hold themselves accountability to be in a relationship with you, if you're standing on 10, that's the ones that are going to be the ones that attract to you and coming to you. And if we stand on 10 with ourselves, holding ourselves accountability, we will be able to see the difference between the two.
So do you think it's a integrity problem that they feel like if the woman was being accountable, and then I could be held accountable, instead of them just being accountable for themselves and not worrying, like how you said, worrying about the other side? It doesn't matter. If my job is the dishes, I shouldn't be worrying about who's sweeping the floor.
We have to work together, man. I don't. Everybody's trying to tell someone men have to do this, women have to be this way. There's a way to work together, man. Where I don't mind washing on dishes, and you can call me whatever I want. I like a clean fucking kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna sit there waiting. Oh, you need to do the dishes, woman, because you're the woman. Man, the dishes need to be fucking done. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I want my woman to cook for me, but I like to cook as well. You know what I mean? Like, you have to hold yourself to how you look, like how you came together. You know what I'm saying? And stop trying to put a super role on the female. You know what I mean? Like, if she wants to do that, she'll do it. If you hold yourself as a man the way you're supposed to, she's gonna do that shit because she wants to fucking do something for you and show that she loves you. You know what I mean? Like, the whole point is a man to stand on his 10, and they will all of a sudden follow line. That's what they've been telling you this whole time. I've been watching these podcasts. They said for the right man, they're looking for the man to stand on 10-24. You know what I mean? And then you also have to be a man to lay the law down. Also, you can't allow a woman to walk all over you. But if you, like I said, if you stand on 10, they won't walk on you. They'll try. They'll try, but
I think that's and that's why I don't focus on women all trying to be so-called fair. There's no need for me to worry about what a woman is doing. As long as I'm doing my job 100%, I will always be able to make the right decision. So if I'm with a bad woman, for example, and I'm doing everything 100% right as a human being and as a man, it's easy for me to see the wrongs in her ways. And it's easy for me to leave that relationship as well because I'm also doing everything 100% correct. So if I come to her and say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z out of you because this is what I see is best for our relationship. This is only to benefit both of us. And she continues to not do that. That should be an easy decision for you to leave. So focusing and worrying about this women's accountability is going to be a surefire way for you to be just lustful because you're going to say, shit, well, she ain't doing it, so I ain't going to do it. You're going to always be in this mindset, and that's why you would never become a leader as well. Go ahead, Diva. Edelman, like you want to say something about it? Go ahead, Diva.
Okay. Well, I think before I read the super chat, accountability looks different, right? So I think the problem is, or one of the issues is that men expect accountability for women to look the exact same way that it looks for them, but it's rarely going to be that way because we play in different roles, right? And so it depends on who got the most to lose. In this coach's situation, he had the most to lose, but the girl that he was sleeping with, the young woman he was sleeping with, still is having some accountability, right? She had to deactivate her social media because everybody was going over there bothering the girl, right? So the people that she is around, now everybody knows. She on Front Street now. So just imagine her interactions and how awkward and embarrassing that is for her to just be out and about living her normal life, because not everybody know that she was being a mattress for this coach. And so the accountability is not going to look the same for her as it is him, because she wasn't married. She wasn't the coach of one of the top football programs in the country, right? Making all this money. So her accountability is going to, by definition, look different. And so that's what men have to understand. There's accountability for women too, but it just looks different from yours, right? So where you go into child support court and having to pay, her accountability is she the one who got to raise that child by herself. And so just because it don't look the same don't mean that it ain't happening. Shadow the Titan Wasp, $5. Good morning and happy Friday. Good day to you too. Thank you. Oh, that's the little gay boy. Oh, okay. Hey, little gay boy.
Oh Lord.
Oh wow.
Also, I do want to say that I think she might have to move to Montana.
Right.
Wow.
If you need a ride, let him know. He willing to drive 19 hours a pop.
Yeah. So, but this is what I wish men would understand. But once they take accountability themselves, they create this atmosphere of accountability around them. The reason that my wife is accountable, the reason that my 3-year-old is accountable, is because I'm accountable. I had to set the atmosphere for it. I remember my 3-year-old came to me and she said, "Dad, I did something I wasn't supposed to do." And she was literally holding herself accountable because I showed her that with my actions, not with my words. So men need to understand, if you start showing accountabilities with your actions, guess what? The other people around you, your kids, your wife, will be accountable too, because that's the atmosphere that you set.
Right, and I think that's a very good point. My youngest daughter, she always gave me a lot of problems in the house. She is very defiant. She got a very defiant spirit. She is me reincarnated for sure. Like the way how she moves, thinks, and talks, and how she always puff up her chest with her little self, and she ain't scared to back down. She'll see Savage like, "No, I don't want to do it." It's like, where you get all this heart from, little kid? But with that being said, she was really sick last night. We had to take her to our doctor, and we had to make him wake up out of his bed. And so the wife could have took her by herself, but she said, "No, I want my father to come." She said, "I want you there." And normally she's like, she don't want me to be around. She tried to kick me out the bed. When they go places, she like, "No, daddy can stay home. It's okay." Like, but when it was time for her to feeling bad, she needed that strength. She said, "Hey, Dad, you need to come with me. And I need you to be in the room. I need you to talk to the nurse and everything." I was like, "Okay." And she ain't never left my arm the whole time. So, but that goes with me always being holding myself accountable at all times in the house. So she sees that I'm responsible to handle tough things. And so when things got tough, she said, "Hey, your black ass need to be there." And I was like, "All right, watch him out." She said, "Well, I'm sick, so I get the curse right now." I was like,
And I want to say this: your wife should be able to hold you accountable for your words. If you said something, she should say, "You said this, that, and third. I can hold you accountable to it." It's not a gender thing. Like people are like, "Well, my wife shouldn't be able to hold it." If you say you was gonna go do this and you don't go do it, she have the right to hold you accountable to your own words. That's a whole nother conversation that we don't even talk about.
Can you believe that, Diva? She told me that I better bring my black ass to the doctor too.
Best to.
Yeah. I bet she said it just like that. She said, "Come on, friend."
Wow.
That was a good one. Go ahead, Diva.
Shadow the Titan Wasp, $5. I want to make a when I I want to make a point. Y'all judging me based on a false idea in your mind. Yet it's why actual conversation can't be had. So yeah, Diva, eat a dick.
Wow. Yo, that's crazy how you did
Oh
that.
my
That's crazy.
God.
This nigga spent 9 years in federal prison eating pussy and not gonna try to tell off everybody eat a dick. Nigga, shut up.
Yo, Diva is hilarious. Shout out
Man,
to
not
Diva
eating.
for the super chat read. That was fun. I don't know if he meant it that way, but man, that was hilarious.
Hey, shout out to
Joshua.
I didn't even know it.
He's a good. Hey, one thing I gotta say about Joshua Eater, man, that he's a good sport. He's willing to tough it out through the contest. We had some jokes, and he ate them. So shout out to him for being still.
Hold on, he ate him. Come on now, he ate him. Hold on, the ate him part is crazy, and then the 9 years of eating the Badushi, well, PH Diva said it's nasty work, bro. That's nasty work.
My bad.
That's nasty work.
Welcome to the show, KT the GOAT, the man of all responsibility and accountability, only for men. What's up, KT the GOAT? What's your thought?
You said, do men owe responsibility for what? I apologize. I didn't hear the last part.
It don't matter. Just go ahead and say what you got to say.
Put those damn Newport 100s down.
I don't smoke Newports anymore.
Oh, 2 days.
Look at God. Look at that.
2 days in a row now, or what? How long?
Nah, I've been about a week.
Ooh, he moving up, man. He done moved to them camels.
It only take about a couple of
Camels
days.
is a downgrade.
The body, so. But
Nah, yeah.
Before we go, Eater man, KT to go. What's your thoughts on the topic? Go ahead. What's your thought?
Not much, to be honest. I'm in agreement for the most part. Only thing I actually kind of had to say was maybe that when we talk about like why people bring up women, I don't agree, right? If we having a conversation about men, we can talk about men, but we can say like, because I don't know what brother name is, but the dude was saying earlier, like everybody got a part to play. We got to work together. Like we can say men can stand on their square and this is what's going to happen and people are just naturally going to follow. Well, that's not true. Like bro said, women say for the right man. Now, does that mean the right man is actually a good man? Results may vary, but you know, it takes a little bit of working together. That's it.
But I want you to talk about this man. What would you say if this is your friend, your brother in this situation? You had the chance to talk to him.
Good question,
bro. What I tell you about fucking them white bitches? You always go to jail, cuz like that's what I tell mom. I'll tell you, I don't do the pink meat, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, like you said, if it's my friend, I could say, yeah, you fucked up, my nigga. And even him is not being my friend, I could definitely say you fucked up and you goofy, cause like I think Diva said it earlier. Niggas gonna learn about fucking with them white women. I ain't being funny, man. You ain't getting the one up on them. They instantly by default right.
So hold on, we got to make sure we understand what he's saying because I don't want to
so much, KT. We ain't hear no curse words until you came up. By the way,
no. So are you saying that the lust was not the problem? It was who he did it with.
No, where did I say that?
No, because you said white. That's why I asked the question. Like, if this was a black woman, if this was an Asian woman, if this was a Mexican woman, is it okay?
No, fuck no. Cheating on your wife is never okay. It's a literal commitment for life. So no, cheating in a marriage is definitely never okay. It's never okay to cheat, to be honest, but it's definitely fucked up to do within a marriage. I was only pointing out the white girl part because you know you going down, nigga. Like, it wasn't a good choice.
But I just saying, when multiple people are watching and you say, hey, it was the white woman, it seems like the lust is not the problem. That's why I just asked for clarity. The lust is the problem. I don't care what it was. I don't care if it was a polka dot woman. Hey, check this out. When you do these things, you know, what you do in private, you know, you're going to be exposed in the light.
I can agree with that, but I will say, if there's any way to make a comparison, do you know who Emmanuel Udoka is?
Yes.
He's the current coach of the Houston Rockets. He used to be the coach of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, he
Bro,
was
I
cheating
ain't-
too.
Yeah. Now,
He
now
said
I'm
yes,
not
he
saying.
said yes, he knew him. I don't know why you thought we didn't know him, but go ahead.
No, you said you knew
He
him.
called the man Emmanuel. I said no because I know who Emmanuel Udoka is. I know who Amy Udoka is, but go
I
ahead.
mean, this is real name,
Yeah,
but yeah, go ahead.
you know, apologies, but no, I was just saying like again, it's not a good situation anyway. But I think
What's
the proof
not a good situation?
to be cheating on your wife. It's never a good situation. I'm just pointing out that he did, I would say he did it far worse. He had multiple women in the building. This man was working for the Houston Rockets by the end of the year.
Okay, so do you think being lustful as a man that is not married, do you think that is okay?
I don't think being lustful is ever okay, but I think it's okay to be if you're not in a relationship somewhat. I mean, you shouldn't be lustful because if we're saying you're lustful, that means your only intent is to get pussy and do whatever based on that goal, period. So I don't think it's good at all. But to say like you're not married, I can't tell you if you have people that are willing to act within your lust and you're single, I don't really know what judgment I could place on you.
And there lies the
The
problem.
problem.
That's the problem.
So if a woman is single, can she mess with multiple men?
she
Another
shouldn't.
problem. There go another problem. Like I don't
mean,
even understand why you even asking us about a woman is what she's doing. It don't have
Because
nothing to
it's
do with our
about lust.
conversation at all.
No, I'm saying
He had
because
a
we talking about
limited-
lustful.
Right. So a man being lustful, whether he's married or not, is a problem because men are not willing to step up and say, hey, men, stop being lustful. Y'all keep saying, well, if he ain't married, then I don't know if I could say anything. Yes, you
No,
can.
I said I don't know if I can pass judgment on you because again, if we're up here being very honest, y'all will get up here and say women, if they're not in a relationship, well, they can mess with as many men as they want. If y'all say that's not being lustful, that's on y'all. But we're talking about truly what is lust, right? So I said lust is never good because it's you making an action thinking like in a man's case, you're thinking with your small head and not your big head. However,
Because you use the word can. A woman can do anything she wants to.
Right.
But is it good for her to do that? Like the word you used was can. And you said, yeah, they can do whatever they want, but should they?
No, and I said no, they shouldn't. I said any act of lust is not a good act because you're thinking with your small head and not your big head.
All
So,
right.
I mean,
So what Savage is pointing out, so there's no need for you to bring up, is it okay for women to be lustful? And we are saying that having lust at the top of your value system needs to be removed. It is not a good thing. Why would it change for the woman? It doesn't make no sense to bring her up or bring her into it. This is what we keep having a problem. Men are not willing to just stand on business and say, hey, brothers, stop being lustful. Think of women as human beings. Find your human being and build with that one human being. And then you will not lose millions of dollars. You won't lose your family. Your daughters won't look at you like a degenerate. And you probably won't go to jail because you put a knife to your own goddamn neck.
Yeah, no, agree with all that. I've said I agree.
Say that again, Savage. You broke up.
Can KT define mess with?
Mess with?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What do you mean? Like if you're fucking somebody?
I don't know.
You
What does
said it.
mess? You said mess
You said
with.
it, KT.
Like if you're messing with multiple people.
But what is messing with? It's a
If you're
define
fucking with them, I just said it. Just fuck like you're fucking with multiple people.
You don't have
having
to
sex
curse so
with-
much, my brother. But God.
having sex with.
Oh, well, having sex with multiple people.
That's all I wanted to know. I'm a fan
And
of
like
words
I
up
said,
there because they all have different meanings. So
Absolutely.
For sure. And like I said too, I mean, I pointed out, I don't lust is not good. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out that it's everything is working with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just. I wish it was as easy as just saying, look, if you really focus on yourself, do everything you need to do right, life is going to be amazing. A lot of us do that here, and that's not true. We still face problems. We still sometimes may have to make adjustments because life that I think a lot of times here we talk more about how things should be versus what the actual reality of things are.
That's just not true. Stop lying. What? That's not true at all. That's not even close to true. But let me welcome somebody into the show that absolutely changed their life. They understand how to move properly in the world. Went from one thing and turned their life around. Welcome to the show, Joshua Jackson. Good day, sir. How you doing?
Welcome back to the Smoke Show.
Hey, Smoke Show. Look, lust. I can speak on lust specifically. Like, I don't think lust is gender exclusive. So, I mean, if we're gonna really talk about it, like, I understand where y'all are coming from, though. Like, men have to stand on their own. I get that, but men aren't the one granted access to sex. If no women put out, no men can have sex.
Lies.
How so?
Let me finish this.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was muted. My bad. My bad. I thought I was muted.
I just want to point something out. This is why we can't jump in, because now you turn to his full thought into a partial thought, and then he's gonna build
Go
on
into that
at one point, and then now he gotta go back to his whole original overarching point. So we gotta let people finish, so this way we won't turn his
I apologize.
full thought into a micro thought, and then a micro thought, and then now the conversation gets stuck on one person instead of it. We all gathering our thoughts together and combating this whole lustful situation. We got 2 super chats. Go ahead, Diva, if you don't mind.
All right, Tezzy Cade, $5. Accountability is so easy that once you hold yourself accountable, no one can judge you or find any wrong with you as an individual.
Okay, Tezzy.
Tezzy Cade again with another $5. When you focus on men lust first, women will have no one to sleep with. So why start with women? Shaking my head. Right.
That's a bar.
Hey, Josh.
So I want to make sure I hold myself accountable. Sharon, I'm sorry for cutting Josh off and not making him go into a micro thought. If I had the discipline and just stop being a disruptor and let him finish his thought, I wouldn't have caused that disruption on your show. Can you please find it deep in your little bitty heart to forgive me for all the things I have done wrong in the last 10 minutes?
Accountability is sending a super chat.
Yeah, that's actually.
Be quiet, Diva. Nobody talking to you. I was talking to Sharon.
Hey, Josh, I had a quick question, bro. Because I wanted to ask you yesterday, but I had to leave.
AR? Wait,
yeah,
AR,
what's up,
right?
man?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to recognize the voices.
You was messing with that girl while she was already prostituting herself out.
Wait, which shit? The one that the case was over?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she was fucking other dudes, and you was still messing with her.
But that's pimp life, yeah. So that's a whole different story.
Ain't no pimp life. You don't. All right.
No, you know what? Hey, look.
It just seems like it's like one degree separated from being a cuck.
That be their wife.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
It's a
bottom.
Usually when they both retire, they marry each other. Whoever's the best one. So.
And then the bottom usually manage the rest of them too. By the way, she get promoted.
All accurate, but again, not necessarily what this point is about. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a boyfriend.
That's just blowing my mind.
Go ahead and tell us your idea of why men should. What is your thoughts on men need to recalibrate their value system, and lust should be at the bottom of their hierarchy? See, and now he got out the truck, so now we gotta wait for him to come back. So, shit.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we get you now.
All right. No, in truth, I agree. Like, again, lust took a big part of my life multiple times, so I understand where it's coming from. But accountability isn't just a male hand. I'm not saying I disagree with y'all. I'm just saying it's not a unilateral thing. This conversation that's been having, a few people have said it's women that have to do it or it's men that have to do it. In reality, it's both. Because if women don't grant access to sex, men aren't having it. Like, we can say they will, but most men won't.
Can I respond now?
Yes.
I want to.
Just go on mute. He's about to respond. So just go on mute. I'll put you on mute, man. Don't worry about it. Good.
I think we just gotta stop lying. Women does not have control access to sex. The person that's willing to say no control access to sex. And most men don't understand this because they don't have a level of discipline. If you tell a woman no and she want to have sex with you, you the one have control. We need to stop saying it, because this idea that somebody's controlling something over me, that is usually the person with the less discipline is the one who do not have control.
Gain access, control are not the same word, though. Those two words are very different.
But Josh, Edelman is saying, like, me personally, bro, I think you're capping because you don't know what a real P is. I don't want to use that word or whatever because I don't know. I don't think it's YouTube friendly. But in that relationship, you was a boyfriend, bro. You wasn't a real P, because a real P don't think about the lust of it. He thinking about the financial gain of it, like sock to my pocket, which is a financial gain. It's like she got to bring money to it. So he's thinking about the assets. He's not thinking about sex, bro. That's like the last further thing he's talking about. And hold on, Josh, real quick. You can go listen to Andre Taylor. Hold on, bro. Real quick. I ain't cut you off. You could go listen to Andre Taylor. Andre Taylor got a whole platform breaking all of this stuff down, bro. And he been in the game for a long time. So you're wrong on that, bro. You totally wrong. I agree with Edelman, bro. You wrong. You don't know what a real P is.
You done?
Right. Yeah, he's done. Go ahead.
All right. So first and foremost, again, you can't talk to me about this world because I actually was in it. Just because this case is based on one means nothing. I may not be in that world now because I moved forward from that. When I got married to somebody completely out of the game. So again, you're making a lot of statements that you don't understand. I'm not talking about somebody else's perspective. I'm talking about what I actually did. When it came to me and my ex, it wasn't about lust. It was about the money, which is why we made so much. So I understand what you're saying, but you keep making assumptions and those assumptions are inaccurate.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
let me welcome somebody into the show. Welcome to the show. Good day. Welcome to the show, Brownsville, New York. How you doing?
Yo, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. First and foremost, Cuzzo, can you hear me? Am I coming through clearly?
Absolutely.
You sound good, cuz.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, cuz, let me take my shoes off before I walk into your room. Peace and love to the beautiful queen, the supreme goddess, PH diva. Peace and love to you. And then peace and love to all the beautiful queens in the chat, man. Anya Bracy, the SBG First Lady, Robin MDB, Sugar Bum, Bomb Cherry Juice, Rogue C, It's Me, Dr. G, Sexy Red TV, Conversations with MJ, the Bariqua Princess, Miss Jalen Genesis, the Voice of Venus, the Verbal Assassin, the Victorious 10 Tolerance, Renee, Keisha G, Kim West, Elite Bell, Zoe, Natasha Vincent, all the queens, man. All the queens. I don't want to forget about none of the queens. Every time I hit this platform, I'm making my purpose to lift y'all up, give y'all flowers, and show these men, show these knuckleheads how they should be treating the ladies, the queens, and the women on the internet, man. And peace and love to the kings as well. Can't forget about the kings. This is an interesting conversation, Cuzzo. And the conclusion I reach is, as the Savage brother said, you have to be a certain caliber of a man to fully embrace accountability, right? Because what's being displayed on a panel is, if you are a weak man, you're going to get into those whataboutisms when the conversation is about men taking accountability and responsibility and recalibrating their value systems, removing lust and degeneracy from the top and replacing it with God and adding honor, integrity, self-discipline, self-respect, ambition, stoicism, and all those great tools that men need in order to operate to his full purpose. The weak men will be quick to say, well, what about the woman? What about this? What about that? It takes two to tango, and we got to work together in all of these things in order to really what they're trying to do is escape and avoid accountability, right? But the facts are this. There's a reason why we have a $7 billion OnlyFans industry that's still continuing to grow and still continuing to boom to this day. And that's not because of the woman. There's a reason why we have billion-dollar porn industries, right? That's just going to continue to put their mark and impression on our lives because of these devices, because of the access we have to the internet, and even to the young people, which is the most dangerous. You can click on Twitter and then bam, porn will come up, things of that nature. So the access to lust and degeneracy is at an all-time high. But there's a reason why for that. And that's not because of the woman, right? There's a reason why there's thousands of strip clubs all across this country. And it's not because of the woman. There's a reason why sex brothels, it both legal and illegal, are part of this nation. And it's not because of the woman. You see, because there's something called a demand, right? And when men are operating in lust and degeneracy, they are demanding things of a lustful nature, right? And that's why we're asking men to recalibrate. That's why we're telling men to seek God, seek a moral compass, seek sound doctrine, so that you can be removed from those type of nefarious desires. Because all that's going to do is not only harm the body, but harm the spirit. And we can have a conversation about, well, what if we take away the supply, right? And if you take away the supply, because that's what the women are, the supply, then what men have shown us consistently is that they'll find another supply. You can look at them and you can even name them and identify them, right? You got Sean Puff Daddy Combs, an example of altering or finding another supply to get into. You got Sugar Tank, who said, on a platform, hey, I've gotten fellatio from a man before. Various other black men who are willing to come out and say, well, you know what? I don't think I'm gay if I'm doing these kind of lustful things with other men, right? Now you got men all of a sudden coming out of the woodworks like Matt Barnes, who says, well, hey, I got scammed by an AI woman, not even a real woman, a virtual reality woman, scammed him over $60K. So when we break this down, we understand that the problem is the men by an overwhelming majority. And yes, we need to educate and edify women about not being lustful and all those kind of things. But we don't have minority conversations here. We know who the problems are, and we know what needs to be done to fix the problem. Is these men recalibrating, these men embracing accountability, and these men taking responsibility for the reason why this world has turned upside down on its head. The question we should be asking these men is, are you on OnlyFans? Do you entertain strip clubs? Do you entertain brothels and things of that nature? And then we can go from there, right? Because if we have men decide to take a step back and not pursue those nefarious desires, then I'm willing to guarantee that we would be in a better place in terms of the relationship world. So this is what we got to stop doing. Stop being so weak. Stop being so insecure. Stop being so feminine in your ways. When you're getting all emotional, you're getting all triggered, you're getting to the point to where all you want to talk about is the minority of the issue. Peace and love.
I like it. I love it. And that's the truth of the matter. And that's how we get down to some solutions instead of giving our brothers excuses. We got to stop passing the buck. It just has to stop. There's nothing productive coming out of it by saying, what about the women's? As we see. We need to get
I was about to say that when the guy Joshua came up and was like, if women would stop giving them the box, we will be able to. That's just showing his perspective of that, just saying that the men are weak, too weak, like weak for coochie. You know what I mean? Like that's what makes us weak for ourselves. And that's something I'm not. I don't agree with.
And then
hold on, wait, sorry, wait, go.
And Josh, I think you have seen even like in federal prison, when you remove women, the men are still lustful.
Right. Great point.
So yes, I'm gonna agree there. That's not necessarily what my point is. My point isn't the fact that men just can't resist. I'm not even saying it's exclusively a male or female issue. My issue is not a unilateral thing. It's what I said earlier. I think we both need to teach young men and young women that sex shouldn't. Again, I'm talking about somebody who sold sex as a commodity. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not speaking just on some random statement, Like, even if prostitutes did, I don't know how to say this YouTube safe word for prostitution. So sorry. But even if ladies of the night didn't exist, men would go find them somewhere else. Like we talked about yesterday, men just basically lying to women, et cetera, et cetera. There's ways for it to still happen. But again, if you can't, you have to teach both parties, males and females, that lust isn't the answer. Because lust is, in fact, destructive.
No, but
again,
Josh, the point that I'm saying is that whole industry will be totally different if we remove the pimp. Absolutely, I'm telling you right now, it actually will be destroyed if the pimp did not exist. So that's the point that I'm telling you. Even in these situations that you're saying, the pimps are still the problem. Men are the problem in the industry that you're talking about.
If we're talking about like OnlyFans, most women they have no type of internet managers or anything.
Yes, they do.
What y'all saying, and I agree. No, it's not. It's factually.
No.
That's why it's become the most
you want me
successful
to
place.
you want me to bring some of them on because I know them personally?
You saying because you can point out examples doesn't mean that's the overall.
Yeah, why you talk about all right, so let me put you like
You're
this.
saying because you can point out a woman who has a manager that most of them have managers.
Like this. You shouldn't make that statement because you don't know.
No, I know for facts. Like factually speaking, most women on Pornhub
How do you know how do you know for a fact?
Most women on Pornhub admit they have no type of, in terms of, they don't have a management team. They don't have anything. They're running the activity privately off of their whole end. They set up, hey, I'm gonna meet with you. We gonna put the camera up. We gonna make this cut, and that's literally why Pornhub is.
So pause there.
I mean, not Pornhub, but OnlyFans.
I don't know why this is so difficult.
Right, and he be on these platforms, and he know all the words.
What was Andrew Tate?
Are you asking what was Andrew Tate as a whole?
He's a trafficker.
For how many women? It was hundreds. Like that's the point that we try to tell you. It was so mixed.
So are there billions of women in the world, or are there hundreds?
No, but now you're trying to
Okay, so no,
say that
stop,
all
because
the
what
women
y'all
are
just said.
prostitutes.
No, I didn't.
No, I
I
promise you
said
can't.
most of them do not have pimp, a manager. I said
All right,
most
so
of them do
okay,
not
hold
have
on. All right,
managers. That's
hold
it.
on, just hold on. It's not worth the argument. KT don't have no facts behind it. We know industries
Nigga,
have
but your proof
managers.
was you know a
People
girl.
to
I know
be
a girl.
people
That's
to
proof.
people. I know people that
I know
run
people who don't.
people that runs industries. They have managers. You could go
Right.
ahead and try to act like it's a willy-nilly thing, but it is not. It is not willy-nilly.
Most women on OnlyFans do not have a
You
manager.
don't know.
Bro,
and
you
it's
don't know
okay.
most women.
It's okay. We could just move forward so you could go ahead with your point. But
So what are we doing, y'all? We talking about, because y'all just was saying, well, we talk about the majority and not the exception.
I'm trying to be as calm, as cool, and collected since I dress properly. But you make it difficult when you keep jumping in the middle.
About to be a literation.
So what I'm trying to get you to understand, since it's an industry, most industries have managers, and in that industry, that manager is a pimp. We got proof of it because it's plenty of them, right? We have Puffy. We see what he was doing. We see who he went through to go and get it, right? We understand that. We see Andrew Tate. We see also his brother, what he was doing to go ahead and get his money. We seen Puffy even taught his son how to be a future version of that as well, and he was starting an agency. Model agency is another form of pimping as well. It keeps going down the line. Just because they changing the name and the verbiage from manager to agent, it's still all pimping.
But why are we talking about the managers and the pimps when we should be talking about the Johns and the tricks, right? You see, I just gave y'all the premise of the argument. We need to be removing the demand. Y'all are still talking about the supply. That's the problem.
Well, the reason we talking about it, because I was trying to show the picture that is is men on both sides. So you're right, the Johns and the simps and the men. So that's it. You got two men and one woman. You got the manager and the John. So what we want to do is focus on the woman when it's out of the three people, 66% of them are men.
I have a question. Are there such thing as madams?
Yeah, but you're right.
Wait, hold on.
We don't need to talk about the minority. We don't want to talk about the minority.
That's why I'm not.
It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't. Hold on.
That.
I'm trying to get you. All right. So don't bring up things that is not relevant to the conversation.
I'm not bringing it.
This is the whataboutism that we keep talking about. Stop bringing up this one-off on 10%. It doesn't help the conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll be more specific. Most Asian massage parlors are run by females. Most of them in America, not just major cities. Most of these sex brothels, most of the brothels in America are run by older Asian women. You can fact check me, look it up. It was one of the biggest federal cases recently when they busted Dallas.
Thank you for that information. But when we go to the grand scheme of things, it doesn't put a dent in who is running the industry. Men are the ones that is the customer, and men are the managers for a majority sense. It's just what it is, and this is why we need men to take their lust out of the equation. So this way, it won't be a market to prey on females. A market to even prey on women that don't want to do it. They literally stealing women, drugging them up so men can have their way with them. They don't even want. It's a market for men that are entertained by women that don't even want to be in the sex field. That's how bad it is. They got women that you can literally go to countries where it is legal. You can go to Vegas where it's legal. They don't even want those women. They want a stolen woman. It's a problem.
It's legal in Germany and Spain.
So I have a question. If you remove the supply, does the demand still exist?
Yes, that's why we're talking about lust. He literally, Josh, is the problem is the lust. That's why Brownville
Okay.
say, let's stop talking about the supply and let's talk about the lust of men.
Right. The
May
demand.
That's
I
the whole
ask a quick
subject of
question?
today.
When prohibition
Yes, sir.
happened, did the sales and known incidents with drinking increase or decrease? Hello.
Well, you asked.
Let's make your statement because I don't know
I'm
why
asking because you're
don't
saying
ask us
if the
dumbass
supply,
questions,
if the
make your
demand,
statement.
it's
What
not
I'm trying to
dumb.
get
You
you
just
so
don't understand, which is okay. So again, if you're saying the demand will go down just because if people aren't supplying it, the demand goes down. Well, prohibition proves you're a fucking lie. Because prohibition, everything went up in terms of alcohol, like the sale of alcohol, the creation of alcohol, the rum running. The saying just get rid of that, and that's what I guess maybe even Josh, but I'm pointing out we can do our half. It takes two halves. You cannot just say men get rid of your degeneracy and then say, well, women, hey, y'all got standards. Do whatever y'all want to.
You realize that it was the government that had nothing
Right.
to do with people getting rid of anything. If men, the analogy that you would want to go with is if back in the day, men or whoever was drinking stopped
No, we were
drinking.
talking about supply and demand.
Yes,
So
yeah,
he
but
said
you're not
if you get rid
restricting.
of
But you're not restricted. But you're not. Your analogy is trash because it wasn't the government doing anything other. People weren't changing their idea about drinking.
Government
alcohol.
literally banned alcohol. I don't know
That's
what
great. Yes,
more.
but we're not talking about.
So
the
let's
government
get
banning
rid of the
something. We're
supply,
talking about
right?
the people that drink alcohol.
No, you
They're wanting to
fucking
drink.
please listen to somebody break down why your analogy is wrong. So this way you could say a no and you can have an argument.
The
Go ahead,
prohibition was the government banning something. We're not talking, or they're not talking. It's not no we. They're not talking about it being banned by the government because that would, to your point, not really do anything because people are still going to want to have these things that they want to have. They would just go to the black market to do it. We see that with drugs as well. The idea is that people no longer want to do those things. So the government is not even in the equation. So you bringing up prohibition is retarded. Because
no,
there's
it's
nothing
not.
to do.
We're talking about if you get
KT,
rid of the supply.
do you want to listen or do you just want to talk?
You're just talking.
Do you want to
just listen to
I'm
you?
explaining to you because you're not
repeating
understanding
the same thing.
You're bringing up the government. We're talking about people not wanting to do it at all.
No,
That's
we were
what they
talking
are
about supply and demand. If you get rid of the supply, then the demand drops.
Yes, and you get rid of the supply.
So they got rid of the supply.
Rid of the demand.
They got rid of the supply. So why would this not be a good analogy unless you're just stupid as fuck, which I understand most of you are.
Because you are a sped, and you're not talking to someone that's a sped. You're talking to someone that's trying to talk to a sped.
Is that not get rid of the demand? I mean, the supply, sir.
No,
government.
So hold on. So this way you can understand what you're actually saying, KT, and this is why you're confused. We are talking about men need to get rid of their lust. So now, if men get rid of their lust, who is the men in your analogy?
The men would be the government. I mean, no. The men would probably be the rum runners. Because even if we sit there and say shit, let's get rid of the lust, they'll probably figure some way to backdoor it.
What? I don't think you hear what you said. Listen,
how many drugs have you done today, Casey? How much have you smoked today?
Hold on, y'all, but we got to break it down.
Hold on for what? This nigga's retarded.
So we got to say, let's not clown him.
It's not clowning. It's a fucking fact.
Why we break
Technically speaking, if we're talking about supply and demand, and I just gave us a scenario, supply and demand, I don't understand what makes somebody stupid about that.
Because you're using it in the incorrect way.
So let me give you an example.
An example. Just answer me very quickly, everybody up here. Was that not a literal example of supply and demand?
No, not for this.
Not in the same context.
No. That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about context.
Hold on, so you can understand. He's not understanding. No is because we are talking about it in a certain context. You are trying to use it in a literal context, and we are not being literal. And this is where you are missing it.
We cannot be because what we're talking about is fantasy. That's what I'm saying. And the factual example of this. That's what I'm pointing out. The factual example.
No. Stop. You don't know how to have a conversation. We are trying to explain something to you, and then you're trying to go back to what you are saying. But you're forgetting that we as a collective are having a conversation, and we are not turning into just your conversation before we finish our conversation first. So
wait, KT.
if men would stop lusting, right? That is what we are trying to say. The men that are lusting in your reality, that would be the people that want to buy alcohol and go to parties. If the people that's going to parties stop wanting to go to parties and stop being degenerates, then guess what? There's no need to be selling alcohol because there's no money there.
KT, question.
Okay,
I
understand.
understand.
Wait, hold on. I want to make sure he understand that first. You understand what you understand the context of what we are saying. KT.
I do somewhat. I think what the problem is, you're not understanding, because what you just said at the end, you said there's no more money with them. Like those people wanted to run around and get the alcohol, right? They banned the alcohol, and now you're trying to say because
you missed it again.
Hold on, y'all. I got it. Hold on. Pause there. We are not talking about banning the alcohol. We're talking about the people that
it's an analogy.
hold on.
I understand.
The people that want to have the alcohol, we need to change their degenerate behavior and get them to not want alcohol, and therefore we would get rid of alcohol.
Okay, I understand what KT's trying to say. Can I
We all understand what KT's trying to say, but it doesn't fit this conversation. Is what we're trying to get him to understand.
All right,
I'm
wait, KT.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think he almost there.
I said I'm with you on the conversation. I've been here with y'all. Y'all just, for some reason, y'all always just, you're stupid. And it's childish, to be honest. But I'm saying, I'm just giving an analogy in terms of what you're talking about. Well, you don't make sense because you have to speak to yourself first, I guess, if we're talking about who's talking to a child. Shit.
Well,
let's talk. Let's talk.
He almost there, so you understand. So you understand where we are at in the conversation, that the people that want to buy the alcohol is the men.
It's habit versus supply. That's the conversation.
Can you tag me in? Pause. KT, can you tag me in?
No, I don't want to change the conversation. I want us to stay focused on the conversation. I don't want to change it until now the men are the ones.
I'm not changing. I don't understand why y'all think if I gave an analogy, it's changing.
What I'm trying to get you to understand, just because the government bans sexual work doesn't stop men from wanting to have and participate in sexual acts.
Facts.
Well, I think you're oversimplifying his analogy, though.
No, I'm not.
So no, he's not.
You are. You literally are, because I'm saying even if we get rid of it, there will still be an industry.
Understand what I'm saying and stop trying to repurpose what I'm saying. So you could be a part of the conversation.
Do you think he has the mental capacity to understand what you're saying?
Damn.
Wait, can I get tagged in?
Look, question.
Pause.
Okay. If
you've tried to explain it like 6 times. Either man tried to explain it. I tried to explain. Do you think he has the mental capacity to understand what's happening?
Do not ask KT.
Did I say I didn't understand?
Okay. I'm not asking anybody anything. Okay. Question. This is good question. If the government were to ban cigarettes right now,
oh God,
would people stop smoking?
I want to get back to our conversation.
There's a reason I'm asking. Hold on.
No, I want to get back to the conversation. I don't want to.
I'm going. Yeah. It's part of this conversation.
It's not, Josh.
It's not.
Well, yes.
I want you to get back to your point, Josh, because now we're talking about KT's point. I don't want to talk about KT's point because
no, we're not. I didn't have a point. I brought up an analogy, and now you're saying this is a change of topic. No, I brought up an analogy, and you don't want to address the analogy. So now you're insinuating I'm changing the topic. I never have.
I addressed the analogy.
You did not. I just asked a real quick question. Was this not an example of supply and demand? Instead of y'all saying no, all of y'all are saying right. Not in accordance to what we're talking about.
It's so crazy listening to these
good job, KT. You did a good job today, KT. Good job.
No, it's hello, wait, guys. Listen, hold on. We all understand. See, the problem is we all understand. And I sit here. I went to college, and Sharon keep telling y'all guys we want to talk about the supply, and you want to talk about the legality of it. And I deal with this every single. Hold on, wait 1 second. Hold on, I'm trying to help you understand. I have a phone store. It doesn't matter if the government makes the phone legal or illegal. If people do not want phones anymore, I sell them legally or illegally. It doesn't. Hold on, no. Why you gotta talk while I talk? Listen.
No, he's working. He wasn't trying to talk over you.
Oh. The point that I'm trying to help everybody understand is it don't matter if I sell phones legally or illegally. If the supply is not there, it does not matter because I can have 1 million phones. Nobody buying them because I have no supplier no demand, not supplier. I have no demand for phones. So we kill the demand. It don't matter if it's legal or illegal. That's why the government analogy doesn't make sense with what we're talking about.
Well, so it kind of sounds like you agree with KT, but
No,
so from
oh
what
my
I'm
God,
saying,
y'all are so slow. Y'all
well, look, so
listen.
KT's
Y'all did not hear nothing
hold on.
I just said.
Yeah, so KT, it sounds like
I
he's
heard
making
you.
an argument. Yeah, KT's making an argument that basically, when it comes to men's lusts, which one can argue is inherent, it's a biological factor of being a man, right? Because you have an innate desire to procreate, but men's lust could be tampered or lessened if the accessibility to have sex outside of marriage was reduced. So he's saying, if there's if there's laws in place, like getting rid of OnlyFans, for example, right? Getting rid of
It'll
basically
be a black
sources.
market for it. That's the point that I'm telling you. You did not
Yeah.
change the demand. That's the point that I'm telling you. You did not change the demand for OnlyFans. Y'all arguing a legal versus illegal statement. And so what we're
No,
saying is, if you change the
I'm
Nobody.
not.
demand, if the men do not want the OnlyFans anymore, I don't care if it's a black market or a legal market, it will not make any money. So it will destroy from the inside out.
So
Well,
my
his argument, I agree. It doesn't change the demand because if you believe that lust or the want to procreate is inherent, you can't change that or take that out of a man. But
Lust is not inherent.
what he's saying is if you reduce the supply of it, then you have less debauchery. That's what his whole argument is.
Right,
Basically, with the
and that's not what we. Okay, fine. That we all now that we understand that we already understood that is not the topic. The topic is that men need to change their lustful ways, and if they change their lustful ways, and then therefore, guess what will happen? Is no demand for sex. Therefore, what's going to happen? And then now it is no need to supply it because nobody is buying it.
So if men change their lust,
but lust is inherent.
Women will change theirs.
That comes from the want to procreate.
Lust is taught. It's not inherent.
Well, no, because people aren't taught to be have a sexual drive or desire.
They are.
It's not lust with my wife. This is stupid.
So what I'm saying is that no, men are taught to be lustful. They taught to say, hey, you're supposed to sow your royal oats. Go ahead and defile every woman that you meet. They say, go ahead and have as much sex as you possibly can. Even though they also say, go ahead and be virgins. I don't know how that's going to work, but it doesn't work. So again, they're teaching men to go out there and be lustful. Even a man that is making $6 million went out and been lustful, lost his marriage, lost his family, lost his career, and lost his freedom because men don't want to tell men, hey, it's time for you to think and stop, go ahead and submitting to all of your lustful ways. Every time you have a thought of a beautiful woman, your dick get hard. We need to teach men, hey, that is not the proper way to think. So it is a taught thing.
Well, lust in itself is not a taught thing because nobody teaches their kids to have a sexual attraction to the opposite sex at a certain age. This is something inherently.
Okay, so you believe that. So let's see if this logic really works. So you believe that? Do you think they should be teaching sex to little kids in school?
No.
Well, they
Absolutely
teach
not.
us.
Yes or no?
Should they? Yeah, it reduces.
Yes or no, please.
I just said yeah.
Simple. So you say yes?
Mm-hmm. Wow. But they're not teaching them sex; they're teaching them safe sex, and they actually teach abstinence a lot of the time. So it's not like they're telling them to go have sex.
This is where we have a problem with lustful men. Y'all don't understand.
Well, so can we define lust? Because lust would be the desire to have sex, right?
No.
Lust is the excessive desire. It's specific.
No,
it becomes lust.
It becomes
lust when it becomes pervasive. No, it becomes lust when it becomes pervasive.
I'm not lusting over my wife.
Hold on. Now we understand that men have a vocabulary issue.
Well, no, because you're
I
making it
use one
arbitrary.
word.
Excessive
This is a
desire,
problem
what
that
makes
a
it
lot of
excessive?
this is a problem
Too
that a lot
arbitrary.
of men have. They use one word to surmise every goddamn thing. So now anything that they have to do with sex is lustful. If I want to have sex with my wife, you think I'm lusting her, correct?
By
Yes.
definition,
By
lust is a
definition,
very
yes.
strong sexual desire. So it's just having a strong set. Like if you strongly want to fuck this girl, that's quote unquote
Yeah,
being
that's
lustful
lust.
by definition.
No, it has to
Yeah.
be pervasive. Pervasive is literally the defining feature.
So that becomes arbitrary, though. If you're saying it has to be an excessive desire, at that point,
I
who's
didn't
the
say
arbiter?
I didn't say excessive. I said pervasive, meaning that it has to affect your life in some way, shape, or form. It has to inhibit your ability to function normally. Lust is super specific.
Let me ask a question to the panel. And any one of y'all can answer if you have an answer. Can any of y'all, gentlemen, or even the lady, can tell me the woman's version of Epstein Island?
Giselle,
Well, it depends. Are you talking?
Giselle was
Yeah.
there.
Giselle was there.
She's the one who did most of the work.
In
The
fact,
Hillary
she was in
Clinton
charge of most of
Foundation?
the like. I mean,
When they went to the
that's a very
Dominican
bad
Republic?
example.
No, I'm asking you for the woman's version of Epstein Island, right? Which was a place where men gathered together to mess around with underage women.
Yes.
Is there
Okay.
a woman's version of that where they're going to an island to mess with boys?
Epstein Island itself is that
No,
example
no.
because he's
No, he's
did
talking
most
about-
of the work.
Hold
I
on,
get what
hold
you're
on.
saying.
So Le Bears, it's a male strip club in most major cities in America. That is the women's version of that similar situation where they go to exhibit lust.
Okay, pause. Okay, so now to just be clear. So do we think women have lust at the top of their value system? Yes or no?
No, not at the
No,
top.
I don't think they have.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now, all right, so now,
Perfect.
all right,
That's a great question.
So now that
let her finish.
we understand that, what we are saying that men need to take lust at the top of their value system. So this way,
Okay,
they're
Yeah, but
not
it's a
being
biological
moved,
reason.
So they're not being moved by simply their sexual desire first.
But
That
are you
is-
saying all
that
men have
once men
lust
are being
at the top?
moved, so once men are right at the top of their hierarchy, so once men are moving off their lust first, everything comes second. Their family comes second, their job comes second, their freedom comes second. This is why they are willing to risk their life and go to jail for 9 years because of lust. They're willing to risk their freedom of $9 million, $6 million a year because of lust. They are willing to lose their relationship because of lust. So lust at the top of their value system is what we need to get men to remove at the hierarchy. So this way, lust could be in its proper place where it is focused towards the woman that you decided to be with. So hey,
Shots fired.
Pow pow.
But
However-
hold on,
So-
lust wasn't
but
at the
Josh,
top of my
hold on.
hierarchy. Greed was. Hold on,
No.
lust wasn't at the top of my list. Greed was.
That's fine, but I was doing it to an overarching point, not to
Okay.
single you out. Not to
The,
single
the,
you out.
but
yes,
the
so
point,
Josh,
hold on,
I-
the point is, hold on,
It
one
was
second, Josh.
just a cheap shot, but you get the overarching point is that hey, men need to not have it at the top of their
The
value
pro-
system. That's what we arguing. So if men take it from the top of their value system, then the sex work life is also going to diminish as well because now men are not purposely doing that first.
Yeah, and what
Well, they don't have
Sharon
to do
me,
it
hold on,
first
hold on.
for it to continue.
I got it, but what me, Sharon, and Brownsville is saying is lust is at the top of their value, and you guys keep trying to tell us why it's there. It's a reason why. Y'all keep saying that. We know it's a reason why, but we said the men keep moving in this way. We need to talk about the removing of it, not the reason why it's there. And if we talk about that, that's the conversation that's on hand.
But
So
I
I
don't
get you
believe
guys
that
are
lust
trying
is
to
the
list it
primary
as-
for most.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
sorry.
get you guys are trying to list it as like being at the top of driving forces within a man. But the thing is, regardless if it's 1, 2, or 3, which there's no way to actually prove that anyway, the end result would still be the same. Like even if it was number 2 or number 3, there's still an innate desire for men to procreate.
So okay, so now let me get some understanding. If we say your top 5, what does that mean to you?
The top 5 core values.
Yeah, your top 5. But the thing
Okay.
is, so
All right. So now, does it matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No,
Yes,
it doesn't
it actually
matter.
does.
The
It
impact,
doesn't
would say
matter,
it
right?
does.
It's at the
No,
top of
it
your
doesn't.
value system, correct? So we need to
Mhm.
remove lust from the top of your value system
And
and bring it
here's the
down to
problem
the
with that,
bottom
though.
of your value system.
You're asking for men to be robots because there's a biological drive for men to procreate. And I know you're saying lust, and you're trying to
That's why they got
preface it.
wives. That's what I'm saying is, yeah, that's what this is why
I
we
can
have to
finish the thought I was
remove.
about to say that.
Go ahead.
So basically, you're saying lust, right? And you're saying, well, lust is the inherent evil, but lust in itself is not a bad thing. People can lust over their partner. I think sexual immorality is a
Perfect.
problem.
Stop there. So when a man is with his partner and he's only lusting at his woman, would you consider that the top of his value system?
Yeah,
No, his
sex
woman would
still
be the
a
top.
drive for
No,
them.
his woman would be. His wife would be. His wife would be at the
Oh.
top at that point. By literal definition of what you just said.
See, but this is the key that y'all guys are missing. Inside of a marriage, a woman should not be at the top. She should be the top 5, but God should be above the woman, quote unquote. That
I
means
agree.
that the point that I'm trying to hold up, the point that I want y'all guys to understand is lusting after multiple people versus loving your wife, because love and lust is not the same. Because lust is just the sexual desire. Love is not only having a sexual desire, we also say having an emotional connection, a spiritual connection. So it's not lust when I have multiple things to factor in. This guy that was over here at the in whatever school he at the Wolverines, that was just a sexual desire. That's why he lost everything.
I just want to make one thing clear, right? Mr. Work said that if we tell men to remove lust from the top of their value system, they will become robots, right?
Yeah,
And
it's inherent.
that's
It's like telling a lion
my
to
brother,
not be hungry.
my brother, please, right? See, what
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
found is that there's a correlation between a lack of decorum on a panel and lack of self-control and self-discipline in real life. So what I promise to you, Mr. Work, is I'm not going to cut you off. I'm not going to stop you from getting out your full thought. Please show some masculinity and do the same, right? You said that men, if they don't remove lust from the top of their value system, because that's the message, right? We're not saying get rid of lust completely. We're saying remove it from the top of your value system and replace other stronger values that's going to be more beneficial to your family, yourself, and the community. That's number one, right? You said that if we tell men to do that, we're expecting them to become robots, right? Now, I just want you to understand how crazy that is, because basically what you're saying is if men are trying to convince other men to get with more self-control and self-discipline and move in a way that's going to be beneficial for them in their future, so they don't end up like Sharon Moore, they don't end up like P. Diddy. You're telling them that if they don't do those things, they're going to become robots. And that's the problem that I have. Peace and love.
Yeah, so given the context of the panel, there's a lot of times I talk to people in a row, so I don't mean it in a rude or disrespectful way. But to answer your point though, so when you guys are talking about a value system, you guys frame it as a value system, but nobody values sexual desire. If anything, if you were to probably ask most people if they could not have a sexual desire, they would probably prefer that because then they could focus on other things. But when you're talking about the sexual desire, that's something innate, and it's more predominant in men. So it's one of those things where, if given the choice, people probably, like for instance, if I could not sleep, I would prefer to not sleep. That way I would have more time to do other things.
So,
All right.
my
So
brother, the what you're wrong about, right, is that men, you said men don't value sexual desire, and that's just totally inaccurate, right? And the current events suggest that you're just totally inaccurate, right? Men do value sexual desire, and in fact, they value that the most. That's how you end up with P. Diddy having a documentary where multiple men and women are saying, "Hey, he
Is she
just."
okay? Oh, she face planted. Hold on.
Hey, my brother, can you mute him?
You good?
This is, and listen, if we're gonna be, look, we got a queen on the panel, right? She hasn't said anything. She hasn't interrupted anybody. She hasn't interjected. She's been on mute unless she's addressed or unless she has something to add to the conversation, and she's gonna do it in a respectful way, right? That's leadership. So I need y'all brothers to stop saying that y'all are leaders when y'all show over and over and over again, y'all maneuver and behave like children. Let's have some decorum here. So what I'm saying, Mr. Work, you are totally inaccurate, right? Because if men weren't prioritizing or valuing sexual desire, you won't have the Sharon Moores of the world. You won't have the Sean P. Diddy Combs of the world. You won't have this national conspiracy of the Epstein files, right? You wouldn't have those things if we didn't have a problem with men prioritizing sexual desire. Peace and love.
Yeah, so I think the issue is it's being conflated, right? So sexual desire as a value versus experiencing it. So men experience lust, men experience sexual desire. Men don't value it. If we did, society would look more like hedonistic times in Rome, where orgies would be socially acceptable. People could just walk around naked and have sexual acts in public. That would be a society which valued sexual desire or lust. So that's why there's a conflation that's happening.
But we find that it's not a conflation, right? And in fact, everything that you just spoken of is happening now in real time, right? And when you talk about somebody valuing something above something else, right? We're talking about what are you willing to risk it all for, right? So a man who values and prioritizes his family, he's not going to risk losing his family to chase another skirt, right? The only way he's going to risk losing his family to chase another skirt is if he's valuing and prioritizing his sexual gratification. So my brother, I really need you to recalibrate the way you're thinking and actually have some self-awareness on what's going on around you, because maybe you are thinking and behaving in one way, but the majority of the men in the world are not behaving that way. Peace and love.
Yeah, no, if you were to keep it at prioritization, that would make more sense too. But I think to say that men inherently value sexual drive or lust, I think that's inaccurate. It's like saying somebody who got hooked on drugs values the fact that they're addicted to drugs. Like if given the opportunity to get off, if they weren't under the effects of the addiction, they would. But the problem is that there's a biological component to it, which is hard to remove.
Well, it's all it takes to remove it is discipline, right? Which is why discipline is the hard thing to do. It's hard to wake up in the morning and prioritize going into the gym and getting your physical fitness in order, right? It's difficult to have a plan in place to where you're prioritizing education and reading more books so you can attain more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? The hard thing to do is putting yourself to where you're prioritizing and valuing self-discipline, right? The easy thing to do is to prioritize and value the lust of the flesh. And this is the problem that we're having today, right? Because not only can we go to those real world popular stories of these men risking losing it all just for the sake of prioritizing and gratifying the lust, but you also got brothers on this panel who've come every single day and given this crazy story of how their life completely turned upside down because they lack self-control and self-discipline. And then these same men will come up here and say, well, no, I'm a believer. I believe in faith. I'm a leader, right? But yet you come on this panel and you get some type of weird gratification with arguing and going back and forth in a cussing match with a woman. Make it make sense.
I mean, if you're gonna shoot the shot, shoot it right.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was directed at. I just want to say,
I think
in
he
terms
shot
of,
it pretty good. I just want to
I
say
do.
that was a good
I do.
okay.
Don't worry, I'm finna dig into him too.
Yeah, I personally never curse at. I don't curse at people, but just to kind of answer your point though. So going back to KT's original argument, if we accept lust or sexual desire to be innate in men, then it becomes a question of, like you said, discipline. And one of the aspects that we're not addressing is the debauchery or the movement to normalize sexual deviancy that happens within like feminism, right? And we're talking about being
Here
able
we
to
go.
sell. Exactly, right? So New York decriminalizing sex work
No,
and
you suck.
OnlyFans, which basically allows for access, easy access for women to enter into being sex workers. But basically
Well,
the focus is,
the problem is you keep saying a man desire to procreate is lust, and those two things are not the same.
But
Correct.
either man, you gotta let him finish out his thought, brother.
Oh, go
Don't
ahead,
cut him
finish
off.
up.
Let
You're
him
right. Go
let him
ahead.
finish out his thought, and then you can respond. That's what men do.
yeah, no, I appreciate that. But yeah, so lust is defined as the sexual drive or sexual desire. So men, you lust after your partner. So when I first saw my girl, I wanted to be with her sexually, right? That's not a bad thing. We've been together for a long time, but it's one of those things where the overindulgence or sexual immorality, right? So if you're talking about cheating or having sex with a lot of partners, that's where it becomes an issue. But the act of lusting in itself is not bad. I think it's actually healthy for relationships to lust after each other. And with that, I finish. I appreciate it.
And what we're saying is the first thing that you thought about when you saw your girl was actually having sex and not getting to know her, making her into a wife, or being able to find a way to build love is a problem, because lust is what you led for. Now, we applaud you for being able to move from lust to maybe love, but we can't start with lust. That's the point that we're making, Mr. Works.
Yeah, so that's a good point. And I would preface it with this. It's one of those things where you're not able to know somebody unless you take the time to talk to them. So even though I did have a sexual drive to talk to my girl, that is the motivator. But it's one of those things where it allows people to know each other. It would be different if my expectation was that she has to sleep with me right after we start talking. But I think the drive in itself is not a bad thing.
Yeah, so let me help you understand what I'm trying to help you understand, right? The most of the time is you saying that you didn't act on your lust because you had self-control, right? All right. So the point that we're telling you is when men lead the way in relationship with you, they don't get to know her. They don't know who this individual is, and they act on the lust that they have sex with these women, impregnate these women, make them into baby mamas. That is the whole picture of lust, on how it's not only destroying that relationship, it's also destroying all communities. And that's what we're saying. Lust actually costs you more money, especially when you act on the lust that you have, than actually love, because love and lust is not the same.
Yeah, I agree. And if it's taken to its extreme, right? But let's say you removed lust completely. So if people didn't lust after each other, there would be no reason for people to even try to enter into relationships, right? Because attractiveness, right? Finding somebody attractive in itself, it leans on lust. It requires lust because you have to sexually. Attraction is the sexual desire of another person.
How about this? Let me give you this. How about we stop saying lust and say acting on lust? If we say acting on lust, for your thing, can we say that men acting on lust and their top thing is the problem in the communities?
Yeah,
I would have
I
agreed
agree.
with that.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, because we getting so caught up on semantics. Say, well, I lust after her, but I didn't act on her, and it stayed in my mind. So it's not a problem in my mind. It's only a problem when I have sex with her. Cool. All right. How about the conversation in its intent, especially when we start talking about this coach, he acted on his lust, and that's how he lost everything. So we all can kind of move forward.
Yep, I agree. No, that was a good conversation. I appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Man,
All right. I can't believe we got there.
Once the conversation changed, everybody can agree to it.
Yeah, once we
Acting on lust is the problem, not lust in general.
What I gotta get adjusted to, I guess me, Eden Man, Brownsville, Detroit, AR, is that splitting hairs is important for some brothers. That he had to split that hair for we to get to a concession. Even though that's what we meant the whole time, but
yeah, when I read the topic, my mind automatically went to acting on it. I didn't think. I thought it was one of those things that was an unearned agreement that we was talking about. But I didn't know that. I just need to say we're talking about in this example, not him thinking about having sex with his sisters. Actually, having sex is where he's in trouble, why he's losing, all of these things. I thought it was just one of those implied things.
And it is good that we got there because now we can understand why we have, or why do I have over here so much pushback. And because everything we had to split every hair to get our brothers to understand in the general sense.
But I mean, if the desire is to teach, splitting those hairs might be necessary. Because if you have to specify with certain people to reach their level, why wouldn't splitting those hairs be an issue? Sometimes you might just have to do it.
Agree. Right.
Yeah, he's not disagreeing that he need to do it. He just thought he didn't have to. That's the difference.
Yeah. Because I was always wondering why so many men would try to act like as if they disagree with me. And then when we break down what I'm saying, they actually agree with me. And I never understood it, but it's because they need that hair to be split.
Well, it's certain things, Cuzzo, it's certain things that are implied when it comes to men, right? So we have a certain expectation. If you say you are a man, we're expecting you to have a basic level of understanding, right? But if you need us to break things down as if we're communicating with a child, then that would be you pretty much putting that on the table and say, hey, I'm not a man, I'm a child, and I need you to break things down the way you would teach your son. But we don't do that because we're trying to show y'all brothers respect from the door, right? So we're not breaking things down into its, molecule.
Into its core functions. Right, core functions are how people learn, though.
Right.
We say remove lust from the top of your value system and replace it with God, replace it with sound doctrine. We're expecting men with basic understanding to know we're talking about acting on the lust in an undisciplined way, right? We shouldn't have to say that. Now, if I was talking to my 8-year-old son, then yes, I will break every single thing down to his level of understanding.
Wait, question, you believe in the Bible, yes?
Let me say this real quick. The insinuations you guys make, like the what do they call that? Passive aggressiveness. Where all of a sudden it's like, well, now you got to be a 3-year-old and not, because y'all just was sitting here telling me, well, we ain't get what you say because you ain't say that directly. Now y'all saying, well, it was implied and you guys should understand that. So it doesn't make sense to say when somebody's speaking to you, you don't understand what's being implied. However, to say, well, when I speak to you, you should understand what's being implied. Like, it's okay to say you don't understand at the same level I do. I don't understand at the same level you do. Let's make compromise, because that's how you actually make progression in the conversation.
Well, that's the error. You think we didn't understand you. We understood what you said. I went to school for like I said, in business, we learned supply and demand. We're not saying that your example wasn't valid. We said that you was using it out of the context of the conversation. So you thought we didn't understand you. No, we definitely understood
No,
what you
I
were saying.
said what y'all just said. What was implied though? Because y'all went to say, oh, well, you making the literal statement. And I said plenty of times, I'm not saying that literally. I'm using it as an example. So that's what I'm saying. You can't now be like, well, you think it's just that you didn't get, you thought we didn't get. No, I never said that. I literally said plenty of times. I'm just using this as an example, y'all.
I got you. So what was implied in that statement? I'm about to show you how this breakdown illogical what you're saying. The statement you made.
Supply and demand. And then I bring
we understood that. That's the point that we saying.
Okay, if
we
understood. Hey, damn, how you gonna say?
I was in the middle of sense. Go ahead.
All right. So you just sat here and said what was implied. Well, we're literally talking about getting rid of one part, and then that'll heal everything. And I was bringing this up as an example, saying, well, this is an example of where we got rid of a part, but the demand still didn't leave. The supply still didn't leave either. Matter of fact, it increased. If you didn't understand what that was implying, then
so that's what I'm telling you. We was talking about A, B, and C. We said if we get rid of A, what happens is B would go away. You introduce D into the situation. That's the point that we tell you. You can't say D was implied because it wasn't even part of the first analogy.
Again, analogy. That's what I'm saying. So analogy is not changing the conversation, is it? It's using.
Y'all still trying to talk to this dude? Y'all still trying to get him to understand? It's been like an hour.
We're not trying to get anybody to understand. Are you just
okay? It still sounds like when you talk, I took my headset off, man.
I know. You be up here talking about some. Yeah, you ain't gonna let him talk to you like that. I know.
I don't think you've ever contributed anything worthwhile to the conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Every single time you speak, it's someone trying to explain to you.
Are you mad?
What someone as an adult should already understand.
Yeah, you trying to explain things that don't make sense. That's why you can't really explain it. But you see, I clearly explained it. Now, if you want to accept that or not, that's okay with me. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I understand what you guys will do. You will ridicule and then shame something.
And also, if someone tells you that you're a 3-year-old, that's not passive aggressiveness. That's them being aggressive with you. It's not passive aggressiveness.
No, I was talking about what. Yeah, when specifically to what Brownsville was saying. Well, that's how I break things down to my kids. I mean, listen, if we're gonna lie up here and say, oh, well, most adults are just smart geniuses. Y'all niggas is always up here talking about how dumb niggas is and this, that, and the fifth. And then y'all also get mad because y'all have to talk to people in a way that, and no offense for y'all to really think that, because what the display is for a regular person, I'm not gonna sit here and act as if I'm anything more than a regular person, right? You guys come off in a snobby.
That's doing yourself you're not even being humble by calling yourself a regular person. Like you would be below that. That's what you don't understand. Is that you think you are a regular person and that you are below a regular. Like you cannot comprehend. Like that's what they were trying to tell you when they're talking. They think that they're talking to just the average person, and they think that the average person has a basic level of understanding. You do not reach that level of understanding. Therefore, you are below the average person, and they didn't recognize that. They seem to forget that every single time they talk to you, because every single time they talk to you, they have to explain shit that the average person understands, but that you don't.
What's the issue? Was not understood about a something being used as an example. Why are you so mad? You just can't hold it. And don't say Brownsville was just talking about how, well, if we don't interrupt. This nigga just interrupted. I wasn't saying
nothing. I don't care what Brownsville said. When did I ever say I agree with Brownsville? Why are you bringing him into it? It's just between me and you. It's between me and you. What is what Brownsville got to say, got to do, or what he said, what got to do what I said?
Logic when it helps you.
When did I agree with? When did I agree with that? I don't think that has anything to do with being a man. I don't think interrupting someone or not interrupting someone has anything to do with being a man. So no, I don't agree with that logic.
Oh, that's understandable. I'll accept that very much. You see how that happens? I can say, hey, okay, you're good.
Yes, someone that's below another person, you will hear, oh yeah, I understand that. Yeah, they should be accepting to what they're being told.
No,
that's not surprising
because you're not. But you're literally a nigga who lives with your bitch, and you clean clothes most of the time, sir.
It's not like I got a good life.
My house is in my name. My bills are in my name. I have.
You live in Greensboro. You live in Greensboro. It's cheap as hell over there.
You said what?
You live in Greensboro. It's cheap as hell in Greensboro.
I've never lived in Greensboro a day in my life.
You? My bad.
I've never lived in. I've never said I
live in
Greensboro.
You said you live in North Carolina, right? I thought you said you live in Greensboro.
No, I said I'm from Winston-Salem.
Oh my God. That's even
I
worse.
live in West Virginia.
Oh, okay. I mean, Winston-Salem cheaper than Greensboro, but West Virginia cheaper than both of them.
Yeah, but I came here because I wanted to own land.
Yeah, all right, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, goofy nigga.
Whatever you say.
But yeah, logically speaking, I guess if you're superior, that means you're willing to pay more money. So your logic is
no. I'm just willing to live somewhere where there's amenities. I lived in West Virginia. There's a bunch of deformed people, and there's nothing else there.
Yeah, buying land isn't a good decision.
No, I mean it can be a good decision.
I know. So I mean, they don't say a person like you will pass judgment. Don't know what the fuck you're talking
you get it.
about.
Hold on. This is an example of splitting hairs, right? The whole point of AR was saying that you live somewhere so cheap that it doesn't matter. And then you said, I don't live in this state. He had to break down, hey, you still fit that qualification by living in West Virginia. You don't understand that?
That's what they mean by
no, what I'm asking you is
an
what
example
qualification
of
are y'all
an
talking
average
about?
person.
Because if
in order
I
to
own
understand
land,
the
most of y'all
context.
don't.
And you
I
still
guarantee
can't.
most of y'all up here do not own land. So if you're saying that somehow I'm beneath people because I choose to move somewhere to financially make advantage.
No, the fact that you had to move there to afford land.
Yeah, what the fuck? You think that's smart to say stay
Could you
somewhere
not?
where land costs a lot?
Could you not? How much land did you buy up there?
64 acres.
That's a lot of acres. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say how much you want to bullshit that?
Listen,
yeah, that's a decent.
AR, you get on bullshit, but that you can't BS that one.
Yeah, and the price is $25,000.
That's crazy.
That sounds
crazy.
like $25,000. I'm not buying.
Again, this is a smart investment for the future of my children.
Why is that smart for the future of your children? Okay, so why is that?
West Virginia is a place that isn't there yet. However, I can take my land and I can build for when people will come in 10 years because West Virginia is surrounded by places like North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Maryland, that the prices are increasing.
How long has West Virginia been surrounded by those places?
I think y'all gotta understand. Hold on, y'all gotta understand.
You said it was a good financial decision, and you said that West Virginia is surrounded by all these other places that are growing. Those other places have been growing since the founding of this country. Correct. So West Virginia has been surrounded by them since the founding of this. Well, not literally the founding, but more or less, you know.
Yeah.
And West Virginia is still shit. West Virginia is still shit.
Yeah, no.
You're about to make it really bad.
We're talking
so
about future. We're not talking about past. We're talking about right now.
This is
right
a perfect
like
example.
Prices are
You're so fucking slow. You are so fucking slow. This is a perfect example of why you saying it's not just because you bought some land somewhere and the places around. The reason it's so cheap is because the places around it is where people go, not to West Virginia. That's why you can buy 25,000 or 64 acres.
That's why the prices are increasing.
So when you think about the future,
prices are increasing.
It's not inherent. It's not just because the places around West Virginia get that appreciation. That's great.
Did you know last 2 months ago they just passed $1 billion? Like they're about to make West Virginia.
I don't know why I even bother
the
talking
second
to this slow
Silicon Valley.
We try to figure it out too, AR.
I don't know what.
And then he get mad at us. He get mad at us when we get sucked into it. Then he gets sucked right into it.
We try to figure out because, like, I'm just telling you right now, if you got 64 acres for $25,000,
nobody wants to live there.
Nobody wants to live there.
No, it's not. It's West
you
Virginia.
Have no
I'm not going to deny it's West Virginia.
Tell us what college. Tell us what college you want your. Tell us what college you want in West Virginia. Tell us what college that you want your kids to be going to. That they wouldn't have a better education at Chapel Hill, NC State, They would have a better time at NCCU, Duke. Where you can, well, I don't think Duke does in-state tuition because it's private, but UNC you can definitely get in-state tuition. So tell us which, so they have a better sports program. UNC has one of the best history programs in the nation. We can rank this, and so you telling us that it's a better future for your kids, and I'm confused how the industry in North Carolina is better. The people in North Carolina is better.
Land I'm
got
buying
beaches.
Is an investment
okay,
for
so
my
what good is land if nothing can? What the? Somebody can go buy 64 acres for $25,000. That doesn't mean that that their kids have a better future now. If anything, they just wasted $25,000. Could have went to their kids' future.
Hello, AR.
Do you think taking that $25,000 and putting in the market where they get a 10% increase, 10% appreciation each year would be a better investment than a 64 acres that has nothing on it? And you have no clue what's going to happen in the future to it.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
that's
I
40.
literally am
Hold
already
on.
built.
I want to give y'all this perspective. That's 40 cents an acre. That's like back when we got 10 acres in the middle prices. 40 cents an acre is crazy.
That's not.
And you're
That's
bragging
not
about
40
that.
cents an acre.
I don't know if it's 40
But
cents.
even
That's not
beyond,
low
yeah,
shit,
that's not 40 cents. But beyond that, my thing is I'm literally building on it.
Hold on,
That's what
it's
I bought
not
the
40
land
cents
for.
an acre? What is it an
No,
acre?
I
I feel
believe
like
it'd be
it
about 50 something, 60 something.
$40.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. But I'm just pointing out that
Hold
again, it's
on.
not about.
This
Let me
is
look. I'm
basic
a
math. Hold
calculator.
on. If you got
60.
64 acres, right?
Mm.
You're right. I'm just messing with y'all. I just want y'all to talk about something else. I really want y'all
What
to
is
talk
it?
about something else. I'm just glad I stopped y'all. Let's get back to lust. So it sounds like we all agree that men. So
$400 an acre, I think.
the question that I'm gonna ask you guys, right, is this: how do you think we should go forward by changing the men in our peer groups and the men that are around us from changing their value system from lust to God?
I don't believe that is the not saying God isn't the answer. If you're saying God under the premise of religion, I don't think that would be a proper answer. Just because, like,
Okay,
religion,
that's
and not
fine. So
saying
what is it? What would it be?
it would be like what you guys are saying, like the tenets, in terms of we have to build a system of like what's the value system, what's the morality system. I would say Christianity because I know that we're like most familiar with it, but it leaves a lot of open spaces. So that's the only reason I'm saying I don't know if Christianity would be best, but I do believe following God and having a tenet amongst that.
Let's remove a religion where we go back and say that the Bible is a good foundation for our
Because it's
beliefs.
not. I'm
You
glad you
think?
said it, because it's not.
I didn't hear the end of what you said, AR.
No, I said. So would you say if you read the Bible, the Bible is a good foundation for a belief system?
No.
Yes.
Oh, so Kato, go. Why do you think the Bible is not a good foundation for a belief system?
As I said, it leaves a lot of open to interpretation, and it's not very clear on a lot of things. For instance, like if we're going by Christianity as a tenet, I understand the 10 Commandments is a very good basis, but then we also have to get into like God is okay with slavery, like bound by the Bible literally says besides Jews who after I believe it's like 4 to 6 years, one of those two, you have to release them and they don't owe you shit. But everybody else, you must be you have to be okay and you must be a good slave. So,
Okay, you said something that was important. You said that when we talk about a foundation, and we said that the foundation was started with the 10 Commandments, right?
mm-hmm.
Do you think that will be able to solve the lust problem?
I think if that was like if we had like something that focused more like 10 Commandments and maybe how to follow those 10 Commandments properly, like ways for us to enact it, that would probably be our best bet for sure.
All right. So,
how did you guys define lust, by the way? I wasn't here if you guys defined it.
Strong desire for sex.
Yeah, strong sexual
so
desire.
it's in the context of sex. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
No,
And,
but go ahead.
And all we said is that you need to remove it from the top, and men was going crazy. So now
But
now
how
we
does
know
the 10
we need to-
Commandments
so now
address
we-
sexual lust?
Well,
It
it's a
talks
couple
about
things.
adultery first.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
but
says
it has nothing. Adultery is when you're married or someone else is married. It has nothing to do with single people.
Well, no, I can agree, and that's why I said it's a good
So
basis.
what is
like
yeah,
if we
but
just
no,
come
how
out
is
with
it a good
a-
basis? How does it address sexual lust?
Easy, because now we could still apply it to a single person to not be so if you gonna
So
be
you're
with
interpreting
one
the 10
if
that
you're
you're
gonna be
interpreting the
with-
10
if you're
Commandments
gonna
the way
be
you
with
want to.
one- no, we're not.
Yeah.
Because we use it as a base. Also, the Bible said you have sex with a woman that you are married. So if you have sex with a
We're
woman,
not talking about we're talking about the 10 Commandments.
Exactly.
Not
And
the
then
whole
you try
Bible,
to-
just the 10 Commandments.
Right. So and then you try to use the adultery part. And what I'm trying to say, in the Bible, if you have sex with a woman, you are considered married. So if you have sex with another person, that means you'll be committing adultery. So
Right, sex
therefore,
outside
now
of the confines of marriage.
So therefore,
So if you have sex with someone
can say-
and you're now married, then you're What, is
Right,
that
so,
still
right. So
okay?
I'm trying
So
to because you're trying to be like how KT do. You're trying to be
no,
a little too literal.
you're moving it
Being
because
too
we're talking about
literal.
the Ten Commandments, not the whole Bible.
Engaging
Ten
in your
Commandments.
literal.
Don't say the Bible.
I'm
Say the
engaging
Ten
in
Commandments
your
only.
right. So we're engaging in the literal. That what
Okay.
you're trying
The
to
Ten
prove.
Commandments.
Right.
Well,
And
the first
so the adultery part would be a part of the lustfulness. You need to be with one woman.
Mhm.
So we could
No,
use
the adultery has nothing to do with being one woman. Adultery has nothing to do with that.
with adultery is the marriage, right? So
It has
if
nothing
we
to
put
do.
right, because you
Has nothing
said
to do with
what does
being.
that have to do with a single person, correct?
Has nothing to do with adultery. Is when you're married. So the Ten Commandments.
Okay,
Again,
so
this is to
alright,
KT's point. He said that
hold on,
this is
Paul, slow
perfect
down.
example.
Yeah, slow down.
Interpreting it the way you want it to
Right,
read.
because
That's the way you're doing it.
No, you want to make it literal. That's the
Okay.
issue that we have.
So proving the point. You either so you can interpret it literally or you can interpret it another way. There is no guidance about how you should interpret it. That is to KT's point.
No, it's not. That is
Okay.
a
That is literally what he said.
What I'm saying, that's a different argument. KT was the one that said we can use the 10 Commandments as a way to break down and we can have a value system based conversation. He's the one that brought the 10 Commandments into it. So therefore, he already separated the 10 Commandments from the Bible by saying
Either man, I think, brought the Ten Commandments in.
but
well,
no,
I
KT,
could ask.
hold on. So he can understand because he might have missed it. KT brought in 10 Commandments is a good base to run an ideology off of. KT was just talking like he was just saying, hey, maybe this and maybe that. So that's all he was saying. He just threw out the 10 Commandments.
Okay, gotcha.
Right. So he was separating the 10 Commandments from Christianity because he likes the idea of Christianity, but he don't like the whole idea of Christianity because of what you say is that you could interpret it different ways. But he said you could take the 10 Commandments out and we could use that as a base, is what KT was trying to say.
Okay. And so
now, yeah.
Well, to answer your question, AR, because your question is, you're trying to get caught on thou should not commit adultery. But we look at the first commandment. The first commandment is thou should not put other gods before me, right? When lust is at the top of your belief system, you're actually putting that above God.
No. It's we define lust as sexual. We're talking about Are we not only talking about sexual lust? Or are we talking about lust overall?
We're talking about lust. We're literally talking about sexual lust. But if a man in this situation put his family, he lost his family, if we always go back to the original example, he put lust above God. So that's literally the first commandment. That's the
first
point.
commandment is other gods. It's literally talking about other gods, as in literal worshiping gods. Lust is not a god.
No, yes, it is.
That's for you.
It's not a god.
Not for you.
It's talking about idolatry.
It's not a god.
The first commandment talks about idolatry.
No, if you worshiping lust, it's your God. No.
No. You're not worshiping in the literal sense. Exactly. It's talking about, i.e., Zeus, i.e., Poseidon. That is what it is talking about.
Hold on. So we
it
can
literally
hold on. Is there a such thing as a god of love?
Yes, Artemis.
Okay, thank you. That ends the conversation. It's a god of love.
That's literally,
it's a god of war. He's saying so that person, right? So that person,
if you're worshiping them
as his god, is what
they literally had people worshiping, as in statues and all that other stuff of these things. You having sex with multiple women is you not worshiping some god that you guys claim exists that they don't even know what you guys are talking about. That's not worshiping that god.
So that's what we're talking about. We cannot, and we are going to have a ideology conversation. We cannot make it literal on every single thing, and then we'll never get to a understand. This is the splitting hairs thing again.
Pick and choose. I agree. It's a buffet. This is the issue with religious people. It's a buffet to you guys. You pick and choose when to be literal. You pick and choose when not to be literal. Sometimes it's literal. Sometimes it's not. It really depends. Was it literal?
We're not talking about. No, what I'm trying to get you to understand, like we are trying to build up what KT said we could build off of, and then now that he used Christianity, because the man said why we can't put God in front of lust. KT the GOAT said we shouldn't use God, and I asked him right after, then what should we do? He said we can use something like the 10 Commandments. And that's how we get. But you can kind of force it into a literal box, and then we'll never actually get past the conversation and get into an overarching point is the issue that we having right now.
But even him being literal,
hold on.
even him being literal, all he has to do is read the 10th commandment. It literally addresses what he's talking about. Y'all are skipping past all that.
I know, but hold on. This is even better. If you don't want to use the 10th commandment, AR, what should we do?
What's the 10th commandment?
No, that doesn't matter. The question, if you don't want to use the 10th commandment, how do we help these men? Like, what is the system we can point to help men get out of this lustful desire?
That's fair.
Oh, I think you should pick and choose between different philosophies for sure.
No. Let me ask the question again. Hold on. No.
So I don't have the answer. I don't have a philosophy in my mind that I would say, hey, this is the one standard. This is the one philosophy that everybody should follow.
Perfect.
Just like I don't necessarily have the solution to a lot of problems in the world. I just know when I see a non-solution. So that is a non-solution.
But AR, that's the problem. Hold on. Go ahead, Detroit.
I was gonna say, if you don't have something that can be the foundation. But if the 10 Commandments could, you would say no to the 10 Commandments because of your whatever your beliefs are, right? And leave nothing in place as a foundation.
No, I think that's the problem, is that we say no to a lot of people. Do exactly what you're talking about, where they say no to religion, but they don't look at any other type of philosophy or anything like that. They just go about whatever they want to. I think that creating a proper philosophy or figuring out a proper philosophy that works for you is the best way to go about it. I don't think the 10 Commandments is a good one.
And you're saying that you can't, hold on. And you're saying that you couldn't use...
I'm not saying people should just completely get rid of the 10 Commandments and not have anything that substitutes there. I think that's a problem as well.
Okay, but some people don't even have the 10 Commandments as a foundation. And what I'm saying is, even if they weren't spiritual, if you just look at the 10 Commandments, you're telling me that couldn't be if a man was not going to go to church and was not going to be a Christian, but he believed in the 10 Commandments as a foundation of how he should operate as a man. You're saying no to that?
Comparatively, yeah.
And without a replacement?
No, I think there are replacements for it.
But right now you just don't have that answer for it right now.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I honestly believe the 10 Commandments are a good premise.
I know, but the problem, Josh, is
are going to say that, yeah.
Hello, the problem with what AR is saying, the reason that lust is so high because everybody's doing what they want to do. Like that's why they believe in lust, because they don't have a foundation. And so as black men, we're coming together and say, let's build a foundation. And he said, no, let's just go back to how it was. It's literally saying, let's just go back.
I'm saying stop being beholden to a religion that has never done anything for you.
But that's not true.
That's a subjective statement.
It is a subjective statement. That's why I made it.
It's not subject. Hold on, but either man, it did something for either man.
Huh?
It did something for either man.
No, his belief in that did something for it, but he could have believed in any other philosophy and he still would have succeeded.
I couldn't.
Hold on. But so the problem is that's your belief.
Yes.
That's your belief that he could have followed any other doctrine. That's not his belief.
Okay, that's fine.
But you
he grew up in a Christian nation.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can oppose that.
I'm sorry.
Isn't that correct? Just like he can't oppose he could say, hey, I suggest that you do this, that, and the third. And
I can't what?
He could suggest that, hey, this is how Christianity moved me into a better space.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't say, no, I don't think that's true because you could have did it with this one as well.
No, I would say that Christianity, your belief in Christianity did move you to that better space. There's other philosophies that you could have followed that would have moved you into that same place, and if not better.
Right, but you can't prove that.
Huh?
You cannot prove that.
Yeah, sure. You can't prove something that we can't rewind time and tell him to try a different philosophy. So sure.
Well, but he can
prove. What if he did try a different philosophy?
But the problem is that he could prove that his religion put him to where he's at today.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Okay.
So can we also come to agreement that man by nature are rebellious?
All right.
Gosh, bro, you gotta stop.
Can we also acknowledge that men by nature are rebellious creatures?
Oh my God.
No.
Anyway, going back to the religion thing real quick, because I wasn't done with that. The point I was making was that God did not put him there. Is the point I was making. He put himself there. He can say like, "Oh, I believe in God, and God never forgot about me," and all this other stuff. Sure, that's fine. There's no God that got him there. God did not put him in a certain place or whatever. Oh, yeah, I'm not wrong.
You are wrong. See, that's
not wrong.
All right, let him finish it, E, so you could.
God did not put you anywhere. You put yourself there, and your belief in God might have helped you get there because you needed that belief system. Everybody needs a belief system and something to believe in to help them strive to do better and reach a certain goal that they believe that they should reach. But God did not put you there. You can believe it, and that's fine. I'm not here to rain on your parade necessarily.
So why you
a lot
talking?
of people are Christian and they believe that stuff.
Get a chance to rebut it first.
A lot of any religion. It doesn't have to be Christianity. It can be Muslim, Jew, Buddhism, all these things. It's really just about what you did. At the end of the day, that's how you got to where you were before the God stuff, and that's how you got to where you were after you went that route. Same thing with Joshua. Same thing with Joshua.
Well, no, I just think that he's wrong. He think that he know what happened in my life because what happens in his life. He don't know what God did for my life. He literally knows me from the internet, right? The whole point that I'm making is that we got to get to this point where he think he know that it was me, and I'm telling him is I have proven evidence, regardless if he want to accept it or not, of him operating in my life. And so that's the point I'm making is it wasn't me, and he just making a blanket statement without just because he on the internet.
Okay.
Why would I'm making a blanket statement? You think I would have said this in front of your face?
No. He's saying that off of the fact that you don't know off the internet.
I don't need to know anybody off the internet because there is no deity that's working in individuals' lives that gets them to where they want to be. That's why every single religion has the same miracles, Oh, this miracle. Oh, well, it's because I believed in this God, and that's because I believed in this God. Oh, we're going to succeed because we believe in this God. God's on our side. X, Y, and Z. Everybody gets to where they are in life based off of them. It's as simple as that. Your belief system helps you get there. You believing that God exists and he wants you to do these certain things might help you get to where you want to be. But God did not individually in your life say, hey, you're gonna make it here because I told you you're gonna make it here, or I'm gonna put you in this position. You put yourself in those positions. You might have strived to do better in positions because you felt like God put you in those positions, but it was you yourself that did it, which is exactly why 2-year-olds get cancer. It's not because God gave them cancer, because God doesn't exist.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
So
that's just his belief. I think
right.
I just disagree.
It's no reason for us to argue his belief because that's his reality, right? So if that's his reality that he think everybody else is doing that, we can go back to the conversation.
Yeah, because it's nothing that either side could do to prove the actual point, unless that's why Edelman said it's off the internet. But Edelman, no, he's seen what he needed to see to say that it was something beyond him.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying. So
yeah,
let me also welcome in two new people. I got you, Detroit. I'm gonna bring it right back to. We're gonna go Ruthless Truth, Free Zone Lou, and then Detroit.
So we do have value systems in place, such as the current structure that we're in, right? Which is the laws of the land. And everybody breaks the laws, right? So we can conclude that men by nature, right, we gonna break the law, right? It's just part. Nobody's perfect. So no matter what value system you try to put in place, you're already gonna have somebody to rebel against it because they might put themselves first before they put keeping of the law, right? Now back to this lust thing. Lust is also a part of nature, right? We naturally want women. And some people want other things, but we don't keep it on women, right? But we naturally are attracted to, whether it be sexually or intellectually, however you want to frame it, we're attracted or desire the opposite sex. This is normal, right? And okay. Now, do every man put it at the top of their value system? No. Men are not a monolith. Some homies, they like deleting people, man. They don't care about women. They don't care about none of that. They do it, but they better go out and take people out. And you got other homies want to chase the basketball. Other homies want to chase this, that. Some dudes desire money and sex over women. So every man does not subscribe to just making their lives about women. Let's be clear about that. A woman is more like a dessert, or just maybe a consolation prize, but it's not the top of their ambition, right? Most homies surprised to get into the bag or get into the money. So we can stop this claim about, oh, well, men need to stop putting lust at the top of their value. We don't, right? We don't. And we will sacrifice, and we'll take the risk to not have ever touch a woman again by going to prison to try to get to the money, right? So let's be clear on that. Now, as far as religion, we do all have our different beliefs. We all have our different way, but there is a God, and we do understand that we're never going to agree on how we got to our desired outcomes, or sometimes we got to outcomes we didn't desire, right? Life is like a box of chocolates, right? You just don't know what you're going to get, but if you make it, be appreciative and give thanks to the God, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's the point is, and I understand that people don't like the Bible, right? But you know, we look at like King David's story, for example, right? It talks about this man losing everything because of lust, right? Like lust was the thing that made him lose his whole kingdom. And then we fast forward 2,000 years later, and we say, hey, this guy going through these different things, we was told about this lust 2,000 years ago, regardless if you believe it or not. And the thing is, you know, we can measure, Sharon. We're literally seeing this, what happened to him 2,000 years ago in the book is happening right now. So we can measure that lust still have the same effect outside of time. So just makes sense.
Hey, and you know, that's the devil's credit card. That's the name of it, lust. And guess what? Once you use that credit card, you're gonna be paying forever. That's the part that we keep missing. So that's why we need men to take it off the top of the investment, because we actually care for men to move in a proper direction. And they keep lust at the top, they are gonna be forever paying. Lust is way more expensive than any divorce.
But
because this man lost everything.
Well,
if he'd have just left his wife, he would have just lost half.
Well, can we agree that women have been the weakness of men forever?
No.
Huh?
No.
Cap.
You cannot look at a woman and say she is making me do something.
No, it's a weakness.
It's the way how she's walking out. I just got so weak when I see how she walk. She know what she doing. She making my blood pressure rise by the way how she looking at sundress. Her fault that my dick got hard when I see her titties and her. It is you. It ain't her.
I mean, so that no, was just taking a bath. I'm just saying.
No, that is you. That don't have nothing to do with her. You having your desires that you can't control. It is you. That is a problem with the patriarchy, and that's a problem why a lot of women have an issue with the Bible, is because it takes the power away from the individual and they blame somebody else. It's you. It ain't no woman.
No,
Adam ate that goddamn apple because he wanted to. It don't got shit to do with me.
I mean, she did bring him the apple.
So what?
And she was his helpmate.
You know what?
Wait,
so
she was his helpmate.
If you bring me some crack, I could blame you?
Yes, I'm still as responsible. I am still as responsible for the drugs.
That's where we have an issue at.
That is crazy. It is crazy that people think that it wasn't Adam's responsibility to correct his wife's errors. That was all on Adam. He had nothing to do with her.
That's where we have the problem with men. And this is when we know when Ruthless said men are rebellious, they are not.
We're not?
No. Y'all
So
follow y'all follow the lead. If a man comes and tell you to do something, you do it. You ain't rebellious.
But we do see men break the law, right?
Yeah, because you following.
No, I'm just saying, you break the law.
Breaking the law is easier than going to 9 to 5, so they follow the men that break the law.
Well, they're still being rebellious, though.
No, it's not.
If you break the law, you're being rebellious.
Literally following somebody into destruction.
Yeah, but you might want to.
If you was rebellious, you would have discipline and say, "I'm going to do the correct thing."
Rebellion
because we see that.
I don't think that's what defiance is.
Yo, we see the true defiant men are the one that do it the correct way. Discipline is more difficult than being a goddamn criminal. You have to be disciplined. So being defiant will actually be the man with discipline, because majority of the men say, "I couldn't help it. Her ass was looking so nice. I tripped down, landed right in her. We understand. So the disciplined man says, hey, I see that beautiful thing. I see that she is interested in me, but I'm not going to go ahead and pursue it and be with that woman because I'm a disciplined man. I'm going to rebel against my own, so how y'all said, my natural inclination to be with that woman because she's giving it to me and making it available because she's saying, here I am. She spreading it like mustard. So therefore she put it in my face. And so now I should blame the woman for it because she spread her legs like mustard and put it in my face. So therefore I have to dive in. I'm about to dive in.
But see, I still think you're conflating two issues.
The blame on a proper person, which would be me. If I was the
but again, it's
that is my fault. It ain't because she put that thing in my face that I had to do something with it.
Hey, yo.
Do people have sex by themselves though?
It doesn't matter.
It does because again, you're taking blame from the party.
The reason why it doesn't matter because she ain't gonna deal with me, and I have complete control over that. She don't have no control just because she walking around and everything. She put the perfect perfume on. She got the perfect dress. She got the perfect numbers. The bust, this, that, waist, feet, hair, color.
So we both were,
nose. Her eyes ain't. She got everything perfect.
But she knew I was married.
Exactly. And
so we both were wrong, right?
So therefore, all that perfect shit that she got, it ain't for me. It's for another brother because I ain't no double peanut butter brother.
So question then, how do people even get that relationship?
I already chose, and I know I made the right decision, and I ain't gonna let no lustful ass woman or my own lust destroy that and take everything from me. Because I got things that's on top of lust on my back. Lust is not at the top of my hierarchy. But most of the men, y'all want to give excuses for men to have lust at the top of their value system. And that's where we have an issue.
But I don't think they have the lust at the top of the value system.
God, yeah, you can't let the wrong cook for just a little bit.
Obviously, football is on the top of his value system, right? He's a coach. He's been a long way to be a head coach.
No, it's not.
So that is at the top of his value system. He's probably a little toxic. Joshua, you gotta mute Joshua.
This is the problem that, and this is the problem that we need. This is the problem that we have. This is the problem that we have. And I gave you an example why it's not. Hold on, because you keep going back to something that I already gave an example, and you cannot prove past the example.
You can't either.
Not have football or his career or his family on top of his value system. What he always had on top of his value system was lust, and that's why he lost everything.
He didn't lose everything.
What you mean?
He's still married, and he's going to get paid out. They're going to pay him half his contract.
No, they're not paying him half his contract.
What the fuck?
They fired him with. They fired him.
They're going to buy him out. They're going to buy him out.
Bro, stop talking for a second. I'll tell you. They fired him with cause, meaning that what he did was against his contract, so they don't have to pay him anything.
They're going to buy him out.
You want to make it out this fantasy of him buying him out legally. And that other schools have done this too. When you're fired with cause, I mean, they have a reason for firing you, right? And the state of Michigan is a show cause state, so they have a reason for firing him. They don't have to pay him anything else on his contract. Don't say buyout after that, because you're wrong.
They're going to buy him out. So anyway, he's going to get.
That's some idiot shit.
You don't care. Okay, so you don't care about any kind of facts or anything. You just.
But the thing about it is,
all right, so hold on 1 second, Ruth. I don't know if Diva's there. She might be busy. We got Sharon Samuels reloaded.
That's your brother?
Some questions for Josh. I just need to get back to my office. I took some notes. Okay. Work academics. I agree. Lust isn't inherently bad and a positive force.
And that's why he ran away from the stream too.
We also got the beautiful Renee. She became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a solution-based gangster. Thank you, beautiful. We also got Kasim with the 5. Lust destroyed the University of Michigan head coach career early this week. He lost a $30 million contract and his marriage with 3 children. Ruthless. I don't know why you're trying to argue that. It's insane.
Well, they haven't filed for divorce yet.
And this is the problem with a lot of men. When y'all go to this literal shit, it's asinine.
She could forgive him and take him back. What you talking about?
Right, but we don't. That's the hill you want to die. The problem is that men are not standing on anything. Y'all keep standing in the gray area. Y'all keep standing on these fences. And this is the problem. This is the downfall. We need men to choose a side instead of being wishy-washy and say, well, she might, he might, this might happen. They might pay him out. They might not pay him out.
No, they already disclosed that they're going to pay him out.
Take a side, and that side that you stand on, stay over there.
This is on the news every day.
Stop being in the middle. We need men to be men. The same way how you made a decision. The same way how you made a decision that you had to go get that money the best way you can at the time, and you did what you wasn't on no fence. You made a decision. We need men to make life decisions just like that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, but whatever side it is, we need them to stand there. Ruthless.
He stood on it.
He did not. You not. You giving him excuses.
No, I'm not giving excuses. I'm saying that he did something that was wrong, right? He may be attracted to this woman for every reason and wanted a little extra on the side, right? But that was not the top of his value system. His value system was head coaching. That's what he did.
Okay, so pause. He signed a contract that said if he have sex with his coworkers, that he would get fired without pay. So which one was more important to him having sex with the woman or that contract?
Both.
How can you say both?
Because he thought he was going to get away with it. He probably thought, I'm not going to get caught.
Perfect. So now,
but that means he still made a choice.
Yes, he made a choice.
Nobody didn't say he didn't make a choice.
Okay, so we just need men to stand on the choice. So the choice that he stood on was that the woman having sex with her was more important than the fear of the repercussions of that contract. Correct?
I don't know.
No, we hear you worse, actually.
I would have to ask him that.
No, this is the problem. You men don't want to stand on anything. All right, so one of the contracts in marriage is not to cheat, correct?
Correct.
No, actually, it's not.
Correct.
It does not say that.
Yes, it is. Infidelity is an explicit cause of marriage.
No, it is not in the wedding vows.
Infidelity. This is crazy. So, Ruthless Truth. You saying that now you trying to say this is the problem with men? Y'all don't want to stand. A lot of men that think like you. Y'all don't want to stand on anything. So now you're saying being faithful is not in a marriage contract.
Not in the paper.
Not
to
in
love,
paper.
honor, and
hold on. What paper
honor?
you talking about? You talking about the
I'm talking about the oath that's taken when you get married to love, honor, and
this
cherish.
and so
That
Rupert
honor.
too, and this is why I don't understand why y'all want to split hairs so badly. And this is why me, Brownsville, and Either Man don't really understand why y'all do this. When we understand what the general conversation really is about, we know when women and men get married, they are assuming that the other partner means that they are going to be monogamous.
Right. Stop saying y'all. I gave you a straight answer. Yes. Being unfaithful, you are violating the oath you took. Yes.
Absolutely.
And so I don't know why men come up here and try to split these hairs. It's just not fair for the conversation. It's just being intellectual dishonest for no reason. So now that most of us are in agreement, I don't know what you want to do. You want to agree with your brothers and say, okay, I don't want to die on this hill, and I'm going to accept that being cheating on my wife is, being faithful in my marriage is a part of the contract. Are you going to concede to that?
No, I think being faithful to your
we can't
marriage
actually have a
contract
can't have a
is
conversation.
as
Hold
long
on.
as you
Hold
fulfilling
on, please.
your
Hold on, please.
obligations.
Hold on, please, Ru. So then we can't have a conversation because we don't have no base of
You
the
have a base. You do have a base. The base is the marriage contract is to be with the person, right? Doesn't mean you don't have. I mean, if you want to have
And
another
so
wife, that's fine.
did you write this
You should be
contract?
able- You should be able to have two or three wives.
this contract? Did you write this contract?
Yeah.
You wrote this?
Oh no, not their contract. I didn't write
Right.
their contract.
So have you ever been married?
No, sir.
Okay, so how can you tell me the rules of a contract that you had never participated in?
Bing bong.
Well, I'm just saying, right, from the outside looking in, it is inherent to me that
That's fine. No, so what I'm trying to get you to understand, for us to have a clear argument, so I can understand what side of the argument we are on, right? We got to have a base that we agree on first. If we don't agree on a base, you're going to be able to say whatever you want, and there will be no point of the argument.
Well, can I give my base?
Is it rooted in marriage?
Your base sound like it's rooted in free base. Like it's simple. When you take that oath, it's to love, honor, and respect or whatever it is. But that honor, that means you're gonna be faithful. You're gonna take no other partners besides your partner. It's a part of the oath when you get married.
But it also says for good times and bad times, though.
Yes.
So that means, so that means the bad times could mean you making a mistake like having sex with another woman.
But that also
That's
means
the case,
during
would
the
you ever
bad
stop?
times in your
Hold on,
relationship,
y'all. Hold on.
don't get a side chick.
Hold
It
on.
also means that.
Hold on. That's an assumption. That's not what bad means.
It's a bad thing. It's a bad time.
No, that's what you interpret in. Yes, that is a bad thing for a man to do because it's not honorable. So we all understand that. However, you are conflating the words in the book.
But it says
when it says for better or worse, it doesn't mean if he cheats.
Right. That's exactly what it means.
No, it does not.
So better for worse means for better
Right,
or
so
for worse.
No,
The
it
worst thing
doesn't
you can
have.
do is the worst thing he can do
Hold
is
on.
cheat.
So
That's the
so
worst.
hold on, and this is the problem that we're going to have with this conversation.
Yeah.
You don't have a base to have this conversation.
I just gave you one.
You don't. You want to conflate and mix up words. This is the problem that AR has with the Bible. Nobody want to be clear and concise with the words.
That's not even the Bible.
Don't bring me into it.
So for
Yeah,
better
I'm-
or worse does not mean cheating.
Yes, it does.
The argument is intellectually dishonest.
Yeah,
Bro,
it
you
is
click-
intellectually dishonest that you bring it in. Yeah, I ain't say nothing.
Yeah.
You over here not even interpreting the scripture right. And the Ten Commandments. Ten Commandments were literally made when they were supposedly wandering through the desert. They were literally talking. They were being very specific. Then you go in and the Bible says this other stuff. The Bible wasn't even around when they were going through this shit. So yeah, it was a literal Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments is very literal.
For better means for the good times, and for worse is the worst thing that can happen to you, which is cheating.
So what is the bad time? What is
It literally say forsake all others. I don't know why we acting like we forgot about that part. Forsaking all others is talking about cheating.
Yeah, but it's just a baseline.
No buts. You cannot put a but. You cannot put a but in it. You gonna
there
so
is a but.
the problem, ruthless truth, and this is why I need men to understand, right? For us to actually have a real honest conversation, we gotta concede to a base and say, all right, this is the premise, and then we could build on the conversation from there. But if you have no premise and you could just work willy-nilly, we would never have a conversation for the audience to enjoy. So you either want to concede to some points, or you're going to say, I don't have that. I just want to be a contrarian, because maybe you have a contrarian spirit,
Or
which
maybe
is
you should
a
concede.
form of double-mindedness.
Or you should concede to the point that when for worst means, for better, for worse means, the worst thing that can happen in a marriage, which could be infidelity, could be a fight, whatever it may be, right?
Okay, so pause there.
That's part.
Hold on,
And
hold on,
also for the end,
hold on.
it says they'll do what's part.
Hold on. The problem is again, and I keep explaining this. Men gotta stop saying it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. That's not man-like. Men are very precise. We're supposed to be, according to these men that's online, we're supposed to be very precise, precision. We are not sometimes this and sometimes that. So if you come on a panel saying it could be and it may be, then therefore you ain't moving in your masculinity.
Oh, this nigga crazy.
Look, I'm reading my vows right now. The 5th line is to forsake all others.
Correct.
But we can't agree that the worst thing could be several things, right? It could be
No, it cannot. Okay,
it
so
could
then,
be,
okay,
it could be lying.
No, it
It
cannot.
could
So,
be
okay,
whatever is worse for that person.
hold on. I need you to stop so we can have a
You gotta
base.
go
So
through it.
when you're wrong, you're wrong. The reason
I'm
why
right. I'm right.
the words cannot be a bunch of things, right? Because we got a top of this, what's the best or for worse. So those are two specific things.
But, right.
It ain't
but
no
what
in the
I'm
middle.
saying- But I'm saying is whatever the worst is, right? Is tell death do its part.
Right. So regardless of that,
It didn't say
the worst thing the worst. So are you saying death? Are you saying you losing a leg? It's a lot of things that could be worse than your mate cheating on you. Are we correct? Are we going to concede to that?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay, so therefore cheating is not worse.
It could be.
How can you concede?
It could be.
Okay, I'm done talking to you.
Jesus Christ.
That's not possible.
Well, hold on. Let's get a baseline.
Hold on. Either man, this is not possible that he said no. I asked him, is cheating the worst thing that can happen to you in your marriage? He said no.
No, I didn't say that. No,
That ends the conversation.
So it could be one of the worst things.
Is it the worst?
Depends on the individual.
No, it does not.
If some women may say, okay, I don't mind you cheating. Fine, it ain't that worse to them. But other women say no.
Oh my God.
Even though he's being a contrarian, he's technically right there.
No, he's not. Because
No,
if
he's
she agrees with you having sex with somebody else, that's not cheating.
Right.
You just said it in your
Actually,
own
I can see.
words.
No, you're right. Actually, that's my bad. If she agrees to it, it's not cheating anymore. It's no longer infidelity because it's known.
So again, this man, I need you to understand the words that you are saying and be a man.
But we can't
Stop
agree
just
that 98.
talk. That is not masculine. A man is say, hey, you know what? I understand what we're saying, and we can move on and say, hey, this is what we're talking about. But if you cannot do that, we cannot have a conversation because you cannot concede to any premise of
you have to concede that
conversation.
You can concede too.
I can, but you. I can.
He's rage baiting you, man.
Cheating to some people is
Wait,
worse.
why would he concede?
Well, you got
in your marriage, hold on. In your marriage vows, before you take the oath to honor and obey, you literally take the vow to forsake all others. What you're saying isn't making any sense because it's contrary.
Man. Y'all letting him troll you.
What I'm saying is the worst thing is to the individual. So if she thinks that's the worst thing,
it is not. Stop saying things that is not truthful. How can your
It
name
is
be
truthful.
truthful and it's not in you? It's just not in you, brother. Oh my God. Just come up and say, just come up and say, I want to talk about what I want to talk about. I don't care about no baseline. I don't care about being factual. And I just want to say my bullshit. And then I could understand. But when you're trying to say we want to have a discussion, then we gotta have a base.
Right. So the baseline is we as individuals, we have things that may be worse, some things that may not be that worse, right? And I'm saying is 98%.
So how is that a base? How is that a base? How is that a base? How is a base that anybody could do whatever they want? That's not a base.
No, it's what people view that's hurt to them. What's hurtful.
Then that's not. So what I'm trying to get you to understand that
To
is not
98% of women, cheating is the worst thing you can do to them.
But the problem is you're trying to take one part of the vows instead of the vows in its entirety. Like, it's a reason that they put all of this together is the point we're saying. You keep saying this is this. Well, this can't be this if I take the whole paragraph. Because the paragraph says forsake all others.
Okay.
You can't pick and choose out of the vows. That's the point we're making.
We're not disputing that, E. But what I'm saying is also said for better or for worse. And
exactly.
The worst is, and the worst
it's not.
Cheating.
No, because it would not. The worst cannot be it because they tell you not to do it.
Yeah, but
that's the point that we're telling you. No, listen. Listen. The point that I'm telling you is if we say, hey, you can run a street light but you can't run it on this street. You say, well, it said I can run a street line. You still had instructions in the total vows that you couldn't do it.
But if you cheat, it could cost you your marriage.
So
Okay.
biggest thing is, it's funny because he don't even believe in marriage, right?
But now, this is the part he doesn't understand. When we're dealing with those vows, right? Better or for worse means you are supposed to respect your marriage for better or for worse. For whatever you're going through, you don't have a green light to go get a side snow bunny and ruin your life, right? It's about
Bingo.
your responsibilities as a man when you
Okay.
take those vows. So,
So
when
when
you
the
hear that
vows-
for better, when you hear that for better or worse, I'm trying to explain to you what it means. It means you respect your marriage for better or
That's
for
not what
worse.
it means.
You put your
That's not what it
marriage
means.
first. That's exactly. You're
No,
gonna
for
tell a
better-
married man what it means. I've
for
had people
better
sit me
or-
down. Hold on. I've gone through marriage counseling, brother. I'm actually married.
Yeah,
I've
'cause
had
you-
other people break these terms down
So-
for me. People who have been married 30, 40 years.
So once
right?
again, right?
And you're gonna tell me I'm wrong.
The vows
Crazy.
are promises, right? And
a vow is an oath.
also they're also dedications, right? So therefore, it's
So
also
Rufus,
a
what
level
makes you
of,
what makes you what makes you the one
I'm
that's
gonna
gonna
give-
tell
I'm
hold
gonna
on,
give it
what
right
makes
back to
you
you, brother.
what makes you the
I'm gonna
one
give
that
it-
tells us what it means? What makes you
Well,
what gives
I
you the
understand
authority?
that the wedding vows are
What gives you the hold on? What gives you the authority to tell us what it means without nothing to
because
back
there's
it
a
up?
definition for all this stuff in the dictionaries. And
But
in
you are
life.
not following. All right, so you wanna go by the definition?
Yes.
If I bring up the definition, would you agree to it?
Yes.
Okay.
So we can't
Sharon,
agree.
bring up the literal definition of each marriage vow. If he still argues at that point, he's just being contrarian.
Oh, this nigga's already gonna waffle on this shit. He gonna seesaw. I can already tell he gonna seesaw on this shit, bro.
But we can't agree, Detroit Coalition, we can't agree that cheating can cost you a marriage.
I don't think anybody in this panel disagree with that. Some of your comments, some of your comments. Hold on. Some of your comments have been contrary to that, though.
Correct.
No, I'm not. I'm saying is the worst thing.
Then you're doing a terrible
wedding
job of
vows
representing
are for-
yourself.
See, what I'm saying is the wedding vow for better or for worse, meaning you're supposed to accept the one you love for better or for worse. That's what that
Right.
means.
So that's your
No, that's
interpretation
not what
of
it
what it
means.
means.
That's
So
not
that's
what
what
it
That's
means.
your interpretation,
That's what it
which is
means.
It
wrong.
means you have a responsibility in your
No, that's not
marriage
what it means.
for better or for worse, right? You, as the man, you have the responsibility that even when things are bad, I'm not going to go violate my marriage. That's the oath you've taken. You said, I'm not going to do certain things. Better or for worse, whatever it is, I'm not going to violate this vow I took, this oath I
Right.
took, this pledge I took, this promise I took, however you want to word it. However you want to word it. What I'm saying is, it is about your responsibility as a man. That's why you're getting confused trying to pass it off. Well, anybody could think that something's bad and something's not. Like, no, what it's saying is, right? No matter whether things are good or bad, you're taking a vow to put your marriage first, right? Well, second to God for those that are religious. But it's saying, no matter what we're going through, I have an oath. I have a responsibility, right? To not do the things you're trying to pretend like are okay in marriage. That's what you're not understanding.
And he dipped off of here too, and everything he was saying is just talking about ways where he doesn't have to take accountability for something he did wrong or something like that. Like, through, good or bad or whatever. Okay, I bring the bad to the marriage or whatever, and my wife's supposed to bring the good and forgive me for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's idiotic, but everything he was saying is idiotic.
Well, the crazy
Sorry, y'all.
part
I mean, I
about
know
this,
everybody listening.
Literally in the definition of better worse, it says to endure and not do infidelity.
Yes, that is literally what it means. It's literally before that sentence. Everybody who's married was saying the same thing.
Even
If
us
that kind of
unmarried ones are
division-
saying the same thing too. So,
I
like,
said-
this is-
I wasn't saying
I
that.
said
Gabe
the
Godfrey, I added that.
the funny part about that whole thing is that somebody who don't believe in getting married is arguing y'all what y'all marriage vow should be.
It's wild. And everybody up here is married except for AR, all the men.
No,
Yeah.
Detroit's not.
What you waiting on?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Listen, man, I'm probably gonna be waiting until I'm 50 to 60s here now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
I thought you was in a community.
Do you not got a? You don't got a woman. He don't got a
Oh, you
woman.
single. Oh, what did I
Yeah.
He's
No,
single.
I've been in. Listen, when I come in these spaces, I've been in a committed relationship for a long time. Never was married. I figured out things about my partner at the time. Tried to make things work. It didn't. And now I'm at a point now where I'm my relationship is with my kids, getting them to where they need to be. And, you know, I date and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? And I understand what like a healthy relationship looks like. I had, you know, married parents, married grandparents. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it.
That boy.
De nada.
Good. I muted him. Good.
Well, Detroit is 2 new fine snow bunnies on the market in Michigan, for the record.
No,
Brand
hell
new snow
no.
bunnies on the market.
Hey, we got all this snow out here too, so they know how to camouflage and just pop out and shit like that at the right time. No, Sharon knew what he was doing. If you listen, man, like just living in Michigan, living in the Detroit area, Ann Arbor's not that far. We know what time it is, bro. Like you know, most brothers do. Now you get to one of these positions, you the coach of Michigan and stuff like that. You know, maybe you see yourself as something other than what you are. But I was just talking to people at work yesterday. I was like, this man went from the coach of one of the most prestigious colleges in the country to being on a mental health risk in 24 hours.
Crazy.
You know, so even like when I was breaking down the story and telling people like what happened or whatever, I had to like pull myself back, like, you know what, let me hold off on kind of explaining this. Cause now it's getting to this, you know,
race thing.
You know, every black man that's arrested, you know what I'm saying, is dealing with all this shit, you know, shit. So I'm like, let me pull back. Cause it was like, yeah, you thought you were something else. You thought you were, you weren't, you know, you thought you were just the coach.
Yeah.
And like, no, man, like, and other universities just kind of went through this, but I know the critique of black coaches has been harder, especially in Michigan, listening to sports talk radio and stuff like that. It's been harder on black coaches than other coaches in the same predicament. And I'm just thinking of a scenario where a white coach got fired and then in 24 hours, he was in custody for 2 days and I can't find it. You know what I mean? Because it's something where I don't know.
He also did threaten the woman and threatened.
Well, he went to her house, which now is going to come back on the University of Michigan too, because the Title IX rules or whatever. Like if they knew that he potentially could be a threat to her and they didn't say anything, so you're looking at the University of Michigan is potentially going to be in a liable situation here too.
Yeah, that I think that whole thing is insane. I think the fact that men are still fighting for men to be lustful is insane. It shows nothing, but it's going to destroy you as a man, financially, family, spiritually, and even maybe your freedom. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And the argument he was trying to put out there.
So the question is, what is the solution?
Well, we've been saying it for the longest. Remove lust at the top of your value system. Replace it with replace it with God, sound doctrine, honor, integrity.
How do you learn those things?
Well, that's the thing. Those things are not being, or it can be missed if you're not being taught it. And certain men that we see coming to these spaces, you know, you might not have got that early on. You know what I mean? And I think it was, I don't know if it was PhD before or Venus who asked the question last week about what rite of passage is. What's a black male rite of passage and everything like that. And this, you know, I didn't call in on this, but I remember back in the day going to the Black Man think tank in Cincinnati. And it was just, you know, black men, it was kind of coordinated through through the church I was in at the time. But it was just black men empowering. How can we take care of our community? You know, how can we take care of our women? How can we take care of our youth? You had business forums, you had all this stuff, which kind of reminds me of like the opposite of this conclave thing. You know what I'm saying? It's the same premise where men are getting together to talk about things, but we know what the real play is with that conclave thing.
Now I understand. Hey, I didn't know this is why Ruthless ran. That's why Ruthless ran. Oh, this you ran him off? I didn't see it, Ruthless. Ruthless could have came back and then he could have got caught. Oh man, damn. Don't worry, I got you, Otis. So I never paid $20 for a super chat in my life. Please drop Ruthless. He's annoying as F. And he's not married. Shit.
I'm gonna hold my not married water here. I'm gonna make sure I ain't gonna get bounced off because of that. But I'll tell you this: there's a philosopher, a psychologist that used to speak at that. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dr. Naeem Akbar. He's the dean. You have. So he was the dean of psychology, I think, at the University Florida A&M. And you know, I used to go and like listen to him talk and stuff like that. He was a great orator. So just listening to him talk, he was great at that. But some of the points he was making, I didn't really get until I got older or whatever, which is why y'all hear me sometimes talk about that European way of thinking. It's like we've kind of been indoctrinated into this European way of looking at everything, the power structures, medicine, business, all this stuff or whatever. And that structure wasn't even meant for us. So sometimes, you know, mentally we're trying to figure out like, how does this even make sense? And we'll sit here and justify it, and we'll get in these panels and start going back and forth with different things. When ultimately that's not like in our DNA. Let's just say that. And a lot of things he'll talk about or would talk about was that. And so that rite of passage that was there. I don't think everybody was privy to it. And if you weren't privy to it, you might not even know that those type of things are even around. But there have been these things. Now, what has, you know, why they don't keep on and everything like that, I don't know. I don't know if they still do the think tank or not. I don't think they do. But it doesn't preclude us from starting something like that. Or like they used to tell us in those think tanks, everybody can't come to this. So take what you learned here back into your communities.
I like it. I like it. Damn, we got a state of emergency out here.
And lust in nature, real quick, lust in nature only procreates. Like it's not about like you know, your lustful desires, which is kind of what humans do nowadays or whatever. Is you know what is more of a how can I put it? It's more you just get the instant gratification. So you know what I mean? Like anything that we were talking about lust, just in general, I think you guys are talking about it's that instant gratification where you'll risk it for the biscuit. You know what I mean? Like that's separate from what lust in nature is. There are two totally different things.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. I like the build that we
The fools
did.
are gone now. I ain't got nobody to chop the fuck up, man. I was red bad. Mr. Work, I wanted to chop him the hell up, man.
So I want to still ask the question: how do we get there as a community to where it's a
KT and
taught
Josh
lesson
are
all the
still
way
here.
around?
Josh,
we can do this game.
Hey, what was the question, Josh? Hey, y'all.
How do we get there as a community, though?
Well, we got to get there as a community by each one teach one, right? We got to stop. We got to stop letting men get the excuse that, oh, you know, if you're single, you could go ahead and put your dick in everything, and have them be more focused on character than lust. Because any woman you like, you already gonna have a sexual attraction off the rip. So we don't need to worry about and leaving that at the top, because if you talk to her, you looked at her, and you're having a conversation, you already have an attraction. So there's no need to worry about all that. Start communicating with her, see if she fits your life and what is your outcomes. First of all, we need to begin with a vision. What is the vision for men moving forward? That's how we got to start. And the beginning is that, hey, you cannot be having sex with everything. We know that. Need to have a position for you to move. How much money you want to make a year? We could start with that. Most men don't even know that answer. How much money you want to make a year? Okay, you want to make 80,000. What jobs is in that 80,000 range? And then now he can pick that. Now, what you need to get to that 80,000 range in that field? Is it a college education? Is it a foot and door construction? Whatever it is, then now we have a pathway for this young man to follow. So we need a vision first.
Division be getting my mixtape to Max B. Then the numbers once I get my
man, Jesus Christ.
Okay, no, that's a good, no. Hold on, no. That's a good start because a lot of young men will say something like that. I had plenty of conversations with young men, and it does start that way. And so when that does happen, first thing I say, all right, let me hear your 16.
Right.
And right, so that right there from the jump, it would give me an idea if they really serious about rapping in the first place, because most of them cannot just drop a 16, whether it's good or bad.
I just start going into the numbers like, sir, even if
And then
you
so-
do get your mixtape
Right,
out,
and then
you're
so
gonna
right, so
be-
now we established that part. So let's just say what Willie say. They do at least correct. They rap the 16, no flaws. Then we say, okay, so now what is your audience? We got to start asking them questions where it's going to actually push them into thinking about a real career, because they don't know their audience. They don't know their audience fan base, age. They don't know their demographic. They don't know what city they live in. They don't know what borough they in. So when we
That
start
dude, when
asking
brother
them
rap,
questions
son?
and we start building they mindset that you need an outcome and you need a vision for your career, whether if it's rapping, football, basketball, or Harvard, it still needs a pathway. It ain't just, oh, I'm going to become a gang member and then I'm going to get up with Max B, catch him in Harlem, and he's going to be on my mixtape. I'm going to give him $5,000, and now that's going to take me to the next level. No, that is not how you're going to make it, sir. So we still, regardless of what it is, AR, whether if it's a Honda Accord driver or a goddamn Charger, Dodge Charger, your favorite other car, is a pathway to get there.
Has nothing to do with 10 Commandments. I agree. I agree with what you said, man. I'm in agreement.
AR.
You see how you put that out without mentioning the 10 Commandments? I love to see growth before my eyes. That's what I like to see, man.
But like, do y'all believe it's okay to discipline somebody else's child?
Hell yeah.
Yes. Hold on. What's discipline?
Yes. Whoop them. What
No,
Teron don't believe in. Whoop
Yeah,
them.
I don't believe putting your hands on human beings. No.
Oh, I do.
That's
I mean,
that's
I was a
the-
pimp, so you know.
That's
right, man.
that's your Jim Crow side coming out, AR.
Yeah, that's what we leave.
Whatever it takes. You know, back in the day,
You saw how fast, hey, Sharon, you see how fast we went two different directions that quick. I knew when he brought up whipping them kids.
Don't put your hand, because look, Joshua, do you need an ass whoop every time you do something wrong?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know
Would you-
AR definitely did an ass whooping, but
Was you here,
I used to get them all
Bracy?
the time.
Bracy, was you here yesterday? It's some things in his story he needed his ass whooped for.
Hey, real shit. Look, had I got my ass whooped by my neighbors, I probably wouldn't have done some of the shit that I did do.
yeah, you probably wouldn't have took that picture. Shit.
Nope, I still would have took it.
Hey, yo, this dude Bracy, man.
Hey, you gotta take pride in whatever you do.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
No, yeah.
No, you don't.
Yes,
Look,
you
I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna stand on what I did for business. It is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
do. Hey, Robin M, somebody did send me a picture. How old is he? Because I don't want, because last time, he gonna say that I'm pulling up minors and all that. I don't want to get struck again. I don't know how old the little man is. Somebody did send me the picture of the young man though. I think he'll lose 18. But Jay Prince, white child, is it's crazy. If that's not a Foolery Friday topic, I had no idea. That was
Foolery Friday.
Wall Street, where I couldn't believe
What happened?
that man possibly have a white child.
With the way motherfuckers talk. Yeah.
The way how
Hold
he
on,
talked to me.
Hold on. You talking about the one that says he only deal with black women might got a white child?
He got a white son that's about 18 years old.
No.
A son at that.
And then he ain't even been in their life. He only been in daughter's life, huh?
Mm-hmm. They sent me the goddamn paternity test and everything. I'm like, y'all are insane.
The crazy part is that little dude probably got a job.
I was like,
his
they are
work.
insane.
That's why they was calling it that.
I was like, I don't know why people keep thinking that this shit is just the internet. No, this shit turned into real life. Y'all better stop playing with people.
Right.
Hopefully, KT land it got some land that he could build on. Chicago
he got
Rilla. They sent me
he
the
got
paternity. Chicago Rilla. They sent me the paternity test. They sent me a picture of the young man.
dang.
I was like,
He got
"Bruh." The only
he got
thing missing, Either Man, is a video of them in court together when they saying that this child is 99.9% yours. That's the only thing that's missing.
dang.
So the only excuse he has that is to say that, hey, it's other people with my name in that state. It's the only excuse that he got.
Man,
He
when I
got
saw his baby mother handling him, she was like, "Yeah, baby mother, you know I'm the baby father in this. Like, you get the welfare. Like, shut
Who
up
said
and
that?
handle your his
The,
baby mother." I said,
oh,
"Oh
which
shit."
one? The white one?
The girl's mothers.
Oh,
Because I mean, she was black, so I'm assuming the girl's mothers, if they all the
okay.
same. But oh yeah, she pretty much said, "Look, I was the one working, so yeah." She was talking red pill talk. I got the right to
Yo,
go lay up with
you
that
know what's the worst
Mexican.
part about it? Either Man and Willie, Wall Street Willie, his son went to jail just like he did. God damn, the fruit don't fall far from the tree.
dang.
You think is that surprising, really?
And he kind of looked like AR a little bit too.
Come
Now that I
on,
think
man. You ain't got to do all that.
about
Because I took a couple of shots at the Bible and the fairy tales that people believe, man. You ain't got to do all that. That's a low blow.
The nigga tried to kill me.
Man, he just sunned you.
Oh shit, but it's crazy. Like, and the picture looked like, hey, I don't, it
So
definitely
do it look like the white Jay Prince?
is it. Well, his baby mother kind of looked like Jay Prince, so so they features
Oh
are.
man. Damn.
No, they features are very similar. Like the woman and Jay Prince, they got the same type of structure.
Oh my god.
So it's hard to tell by the looks, but the information that was sent to me is a paternity test on that joint as well. So it's his name. He could have the argument. Well, does my name have my social security on it? That's what us brothers do, right? We like, hey, you gotta prove it. you gotta have without a shadow of doubt. So
Dang.
I looked at it, I seen it, I was like, bruh.
But did you catch
talk
me
all that
in the
shit
car
about
with
me?
the body and the firearm with my social security number? Then it ain't me. I don't know what
That's
you talking
it.
about.
Deny. Absolutely, Wall Street. Really, this shit is crazy, man. That man said, "I
Did
should die."
he deny it? Did he even deny it?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if he denied it. Do anybody know? Hey, Robin M. Did he deny that was his baby?
I've heard him play the "If it's mine, I don't know. If it's mine, they be saying it's yours." I heard him play that, but I won't say I heard him completely deny it. That's not my baby. Nah, he played that. Well,
If he said if, that's his baby. If you got a fraternity table in the
I
if,
know.
that's his
I know.
baby.
Come on,
Damn,
man.
Prism said yes. He said it's his. Damn.
Dang, man. We gotta do better as men.
Absolutely.
18 years and you just find out that's your baby?
Yeah, that's a wild thing. For sure.
Now the situation could be completely flipped, and we would need
they
to
say he said no. They say he said no.
we would need to say, women need to do better, because you could have a baby grow up 18 years and nobody know you the daddy.
That's a lie.
You know what I mean? So my
Nope.
thing is, again,
Soon
I'm
as
a
he-
moderate. It's work
Hey,
to be
Willie,
done
as soon
on
as he went
both
to
sides.
jail, we knew that was his baby.
This nigga petty, man. Where's Brownsville when you need him, B? Oh, I need some positivity. Let me take off my shoes before I step into the house. Salute to
Hey,
my man
Willie.
Brownsville.
That's the man fault. If you having sex with women and not around them 9 months after you have sex with them, that's your fault.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't got no accidental maybe babies. Ain't no such thing. Ain't nobody can say that's maybe my child.
Yeah, I don't either, but they got like this. Like, your man, as much as I respect him, one of my favorite, news guys. Mark Lamar Hill had a surprise baby, and I think of him as a pretty
Surprise.
upright dude. So,
Damn, not Mark Lamont. Dang,
Mark
that's
Lamar
crazy.
got the
Damn,
surprise
we didn't even
baby.
make it to 100 likes. I'm done with y'all. That's crazy. Any final words, fellas? Again, we start with Joshua. We're gonna go down the line.
Come back to me in a second. I'm finna finish up.
Nope, drop him.
Detroit.
You ain't shit.
Have a foundation. No matter what you believe in spiritually or anything else, just because something is attached to religion doesn't mean it can't be a good foundation.
I'm gonna just close out in my Umar voice. Business over the buns. Family over fornication. Family over fornication. Signing off.
My final words would be like, we got to stop saying that, we can't change the majority. How about change you and your friends? Like, I hear all the time, it's like, this is unrealistic. It can't be done. We can't change the majority of men. But the same people saying it is you can change you from leading with lust. You can change, the people that you have influence over. So we need to stop saying, it can't be done. And at least say, I know me and Sharon can say our circle don't move this way. And if we get more people saying that their circle don't move that way, we can get rid of this lust desire that's destroying these men.
I think the community needs to become a family. I think talking about. Oh, sorry. Somebody else was going.
No, you gotta go. Your final thoughts. Go ahead.
I believe community. Instead of us being a community, we all need to be a big family. We need to be able to pick each other up whenever we are falling down. We need to be able to guide everybody, regardless if we like them or not. I believe if you lead life with love, that's how you're gonna make it.
Okay, I like it. KT the GOAT.
Yeah, I want to say, Willie, you tripping for quoting Umar up this bitch, first of all. Second of all, I want to say thank y'all, man. Great conversation. Hell nah, you were wrong. But you got a problem admitting that. But never mind. I want to say, everybody, listen, it's all right for us to have these talks. It's okay for us to do it. We do need to keep doing these. We need to get to some solutions. I don't think we can get the solutions by just saying who's at fault. I think we get to the solutions by saying this is what we implement in order to prevent that from continuing to happen. So let's keep having those talks and let's see if we can get there.
I know you said final thoughts. I just got to ask, KT Doe, what solution we got to today?
Are you asking me what solution that actually happened, or what should be the solution?
Yeah, the reason I asked that question is because we got to a solution, and we get to a lot of solutions here. Y'all just don't hear them.
When everybody agreed that degeneracy should not be at the top of the value system, that's literally what everybody was agreeing about before we even disagreed. You get what I'm saying? So you're right. We did agree to that again after everybody was already saying it shouldn't be at the top. But in terms of what's the steps we should take, I don't think we came to those solutions yet, or at least implemented or said what those should be.
You came up with it. You said the 10 Commandments.
No, I said that would be a good basis.
I remember that.
Where you was asking me what was mine, nobody agreed with it, nobody disagreed.
You don't agree with your own solution?
You know what I'm saying? I made the solution, but that don't mean everyone's in agreement, or just because I offer the solution doesn't mean that's the solution or that we're in agreement to follow the solution.
So you're saying the only way it could be a solution if we all agree on it?
That's crazy.
No, nothing's absolute, so please stop doing that. No. But yeah, for something to work, majority of people have to enact it,
Well, the majority of the people agree. Only person disagreed was AR. So even in your statement, we came up with a solution that we all agreed upon.
Yeah, we agreed with you.
Oh, word, for sure. Let's start implementing. Maybe next time.
Yo, you know what's crazy, Eden, man? That we was all in the same stream and he didn't even realize that we was fighting for his point of view.
What are you talking? This is what I'm saying. Stop doing this madness. I never said y'all. I said we didn't agree on the solution and say this is what it was and the next steps about it. Y'all saying y'all argue with AR that this is what I'm saying, which is cool. Not disagreeing. Agreed. I'm saying this is not us saying
we agreed.
How do we enact
No, I'm
these
saying
steps?
the majority of us agreed with your solution.
Yes, I said yes every time.
Okay,
So I don't.
So what the fuck are you arguing now?
What are the steps where I didn't argue against shit? You guys are the ones who are literally saying I'm arguing. That's what the fuck I'm saying. I literally said we just didn't talk about the steps to take. I said this is the 10 Commandments is a good basis. You
That's
tell
the
me.
fucking steps.
No, stop.
It's 10 of them.
Tell me. No, I literally said even outside of that, it's not.
Fucking steps.
Do I need to send another super chat?
Yeah, extend the show. Extend the show.
Yo, that is, y'all
That's
gotta
crazy. Y'all don't understand how crazy this is.
It gotta be.
I
they just wanna
literally
argue
said
with me just
y'all.
to
We
argue with me.
agreed.
Even
What
when
is wrong with y'all?
even
What is
when
wrong
I
with y'all?
agree with you.
Can I ask y'all what is wrong with y'all? If I said we are all in agreement on that, now please tell me the steps that we said in order to enact this.
Okay, I got you. Let me break it down.
No. Don't tell
I'm
me
about
what
to answer
steps
your
we
question.
need to. I'm saying name the one you already stated. If not,
okay,
then stop saying I'm tripping, y'all. It's
I'm about to
okay.
tell you. Step 1, our foundation should be the 10
No, stop.
Commandments.
I'm saying name the ones you did in the past because that's all I brought up. I said, yes, we agreed that this may be a good basis. We didn't enact or state what the steps should be in order to make this happen. Don't tell me I'm tripping when I'm telling y'all I understand, I agree.
This can't be
Jesus,
real.
y'all.
This can't be real. This is we gotta be living in some
in the Matrix. We have to.
Wait,
This
so are you
gotta be-
asking how do we make the
gotta
10
be a
Commandments a
simulation.
foundation?
This has to be a simulation.
The steps are go to Diva School for Wayward Boys so I can put you on the right path, the path to success and righteousness. That's the step.
But Diva, I thought you didn't believe in the 10 Commandments.
Shut your ass up.
I'm just saying, you said it yesterday.
The
I'm just asking you. You said it yesterday.
As soon as you started talking, I already knew what she was about to say. Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Still didn't answer the question.
Damn.
That's funny.
Yeah, hey y'all. What's your fire thoughts, y'all?
Ah, man, you know, I hope everybody has a good day. Be safe. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do because ain't nobody gonna do it. Nobody on earth nor in the sky is gonna do it for you. So you gotta do it yourself. Stay safe. Enjoy your families while they're still here.
I like it. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I agree with those. You know,
Okay. Because I know you said you wanted to get your final thoughts. You didn't get it out yet.
I thought I did.
Yeah, he
I
did.
definitely did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
I
D.
believe in the
What's
10 Commandments, so you know.
That's funny. Your pilot thoughts are so trash he didn't even remember.
I know, goddamn.
What you got, Diva?
Bye, y'all.
Nothing wrong with being.
Hype me up.
Let me